It's time for Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, Bush Brothers Car Care, The Barbers Inn in Swissvale, A-Boss Opticians, Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club, Web Landings, and LG3 Entertainment. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show.
A pleasant good evening and welcome to Upper St. Clair High School. On the campus of Upper St. Clair High School is the stadium, and we're in Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania. Adam Gusky, Rick McIntyre on the call for you for this WPIAL Allegheny 9 matchup between the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Woodland Hills 5-4 on the year, 5-2 in Allegheny 9 play, while Upper St. Clair 7-0 within the conference, but 7-2 on the season. Woodland Hills comes off of a 7-0 loss at West Allegheny last week, while Upper St. Clair hosted Hampton a week ago and defeated the Talbots 41-21. Last year, these two teams met at the Wolverina in the final game of the regular season, and Woodland Hills won that one 28-21. We're going to step away for a minute and a half, and when we return, Rick McIntyre will join us, and we'll get you set for kickoff. All of that and more as the pregame show rolls on. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
And we welcome you back to Upper St. Clair High School, where Woodland Hills takes on the Upper St. Clair Panthers in tonight's WPIAL 5A Allegheny 9 matchup. Adam Gusky, Rick McIntyre on the call for you. And Rick, as we take a look at this football game, while this doesn't necessarily mean a lot for conference championships, it sure has a lot to do with playoff pairings coming up next Monday.
Yeah, I think you said it very well. You know, the outcome of tonight doesn't affect whether either team gets in the playoffs. It's a matter of where they stand, coming into Monday whenever they draw the names to see who pair up for the first round of the playoffs. So maybe not the most consequential game of Woodland Hills season, but depending on how those drawings come, this could end up having great ramifications moving forward into the postseason.
Again, Woodland Hills coming off of a 7-0 loss a week ago at West Allegheny. And Rick, the Wolverines certainly had their opportunities and squandered them several times within the Indians' red zone.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with how the defense held up against that really kind of quirky West Allegheny offense. It's not an offense you prepare against very often. And I think they did a really good job of holding them down, not getting many big splash plays. And again, I think you said it. Where we have 5 fumbles actually. Maybe one of them we got back. Obviously, the last one fairly late in the game there with Rodney Denard right at the goal line was kind of the backbreaker. But I was really impressed with the way Woodland Hills played throughout that game. Take away a couple of those turnovers, and I think it's a different score.
And add to that turnover quandary the Wolverines faced a week ago, the one interception thrown by Daniel Jones, West Allegheny turned into the only score of the football game. So we're set to kick this one off here in Upper St. Clair. The Panthers in their home blacks, the Wolverines in their road white jerseys, and we're underway in Upper St. Clair, PA. This ball will carry back to around the 7-yard line, where it'll be returned by a Wolverine. To the far sideline goes Jaquan Smith, and he'll step out of bounds, crossing the 25 to the 27-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 for Woodland Hills.
It's one of the first deep kicks we've seen, actually, for Woodland Hills for a little bit. The opposing teams have been a little bit scared to kick it deep and let these return guys get the ball here. Really pretty nice job in coverage there by Upper St. Clair. Not a fantastic return, but an adequate one. Gets us out to almost the 30-yard line. I don't know about you, Adam, but we were always taught the 30-yard line is that make or break point with the kickoff return. If you return it, you want to get past the 30 and vice versa.
I backfield behind Daniel Jones. Receivers split to either side as the ball's on the left hash. Pitch coming to the right-hand side. It's Anthony Meredith, the ball carrier. He'll shove his way forward, crossing the 30 with the football out to the 31-yard line, where it'll be second down and about a half a dozen.
Pretty nice takedown there by, looked like Dante Greco there, number 55, the 6-foot senior for Upper St. Clair. Kind of snuck through the backside there, got behind the pulling guard and tackle, and kind of crashed the play down from without anybody really seeing him coming.
There's a penalty against Woodland Hills, a pre-snap flag, a formational penalty or a procedural penalty against Woodland Hills. It was not a legal motion as the play was not blown dead, and Upper St. Clair was given the option to accept the play or to take the penalty, and they will accept the penalty, pushing it back 5 yards. It'll be first and 15 with the ball now at the 22-yard line.
I think maybe, Adam, while we have a second here, I want to send our thoughts and prayers out there to Bob Orquist, going through some family things right now in the hospital right now. Love Bob and hope nothing but the best for him and his family.
Without a doubt. Woodland Hills running a counter to the right-hand side. The ball on the left hash. Anthony Meredith, the ball carrier. He'll spring free. He'll back his way up towards the 29-yard line, so that'll bring up second down and about 8 instead of the previous outcome of second and 6.
Really nice block down there by DeVega Bird. I'll tell you, just first, coming off the line of scrimmage here for Meredith. Well, he kind of looks like a man possessed. He's kind of helmets flying around. He's really going 100 miles an hour very early in this game. So it's interesting to see where we come up with which running back by committee we end up with here by the end of the game.
High backfield ball on the right hash this time. Receivers split to the left. Jones is going to hand off, and he is met in the backfield as Anthony Meredith. Nowhere to go as Jake Slinger makes the stop in the backfield. A loss of 2 brings up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Slinger just came through unobstructed, the 6'1" junior there. Not sure if maybe just the right stunt was called there by the defense, or maybe a lack of attention by the Woodland Hills offensive line, but he came through untouched.
So we'll see if Woodland Hills goes to the air here on 3rd down and 10 with the football at their own 27-yard line. Ball near the middle of the field this time. One back set behind Jones. Receivers split to either side. Jones looks right, looks back to the left-hand side, throws the ball to the far sideline, and it's caught by the freshman over there on the far boundary. It's Davian Rochelle with the first down for the Wolverines.
Yeah, that's a couple plays this year by the freshman there, Davian Rochelle. Really nice pattern there, nice play call, kind of had an isolation play out there. Defense wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention to him. One-on-one, and just makes a nice break to the outside. The cornerback looks like he kind of lost his footing. Really nice pickup there, first down to make up for that penalty, which kind of set us back.
18-yard pickup on that play, sets up Woodland Hills 1st and 10 at the 45. Pitch to Meredith, running right, cutting it back to the left, driving his way into Panthers territory as the tackle is made by James Diolis. And that'll bring up second down and a reasonably manageable 4 on that half-dozen-yard pickup by Meredith.
Yeah, this is the quintessential Woodland Hills football right here. Pulling the backside guard tackle, get up there, just get that beef up there, moving forward, open up a hole, find a crack, and pick up 5-6 yards.
Clock winding to 9:45 here in a scoreless first quarter. 2 receivers split left as the handoff goes to Meredith. He'll cut it right, cutting back to the left. He's got the first down and more inside of the 40, brought down at the 38-yard line. And on the tackle, Tom Kyle for Upper St. Clair, but Woodland Hills moving the ball down the field right now on the Panthers.
Yeah, right now Meredith looks really, really strong, really confident coming through the line. Not doing a whole lot of dancing, made a nice move there to get out of the way of maybe a backfield tackle. Gets upfield, gets some positive yardage, and he's running really strong so far.
First and 10, ball in the middle of the field. Receiver split to either side. One back set behind Jones. Hard count by Daniels. He'll hand off. And Meredith, the ball carrier again. He'll carry it inside of the 35 to the 34-yard line.
This is exactly what you want out of the offense, to set the pace, to set the tone. If you're getting 4 or 5 yards on that first down handoff, it kind of opens the offense up now. Now you got second and manageable. You can start running a few different options. And I like the way this offense is going so far.
Again, one back set. Play action. Jones rolling to the left. Settles his feet. Now he's pressured. He'll be wrapped from behind. Harvey Roush, who made the tackle on the previous play, gets the sack there, and that pushes Woodland Hills back from the 34 all the way back to the 45. An 11-yard loss on that sack brings up third down and 16. Make it third and 17.
I couldn't tell up there, Adam. It looked like maybe that was kind of called to be, is that the waggle? He's supposed to be rolling out. It kind of stops his feet. I think if he keeps moving out there, 99 doesn't quite get to him. But I don't know if he maybe mishandled the ball. Second had to reset his feet. But really nice also there by Roush Harvey to make the sack there behind the line of scrimmage.
So third down and 17 for Woodland Hills. The ball at the 45. The line to gain is the 28. Woodland Hills will send 2 receivers to the near side right and 1 to the far boundary left. But the play clock was winding down, and head coach Tim Bostard wants to use a timeout, so we'll step away as well. Scoreless here in the first quarter between the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Upper St. Clair Panthers. You're tuned into the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and surrounding areas for over 111 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home is pleased to announce the opening of their new crematory at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that our crematory is used exclusively for the families we serve.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
So third and 17 after the timeout. The ball on the left hash. Woodland Hills, 1 receiver to the short side left, 2 to the near side right. Jones in the shotgun for the first time today with sidecars to either side. He's pressured, he's wrapped, he's going to try to dump it off, and he lobbed it over the head of Christopher Jones, precariously close to a pair of Panthers. In the vicinity of the football was James DeLulis. Amongst others, also near the football was Jake Slinger, but they weren't able to dive for it, and the incomplete pass brings up fourth down, and the punt unit comes on.
Yeah, a lot of pressure there right away from the jerseys in black. Not much room for him to work with there. Weren't really many receivers open downfield.
Clock stops, 7:48 to play in a scoreless first quarter. Whitehurst the punter. Low snap. Whitehurst able to corral it, though, and he will get it away under some pressure. Takes a hop in favor of the Wolverines, and will bounce off of the legs of the long snapper, Marcus Taylor. Had he been able to leap over that football, Woodland Hills would have been able to pin Upper St. Clair back even further, but instead the ball touched at the 25, or rather at the 15, and it will be first and 10 for the Panthers from there.
Pretty nice job at Whitehurst taking kind of a rough snap there, getting a really good kickoff. And again, like you said, if it doesn't touch his leg there, we can possibly have him pinned back there inside the 5. So again, really nice job by Whitehurst to control the snap and get a really good kickoff.
First-year head coach Tim Bostard talking things over with his team on the near sideline as the defense out on the field, and the Panthers are going to go to the ground on the first play from scrimmage. Colin McClendon, the ball carrier, out towards the 20-yard line. He'll pick up about 3 to the 18.
Couldn't tell if he really got hit so much as maybe just caught a leg, looked like of his own blocker there. Kind of ran into Nate Ripley.
So they'll give him a gain of 4 to the 19, and that'll bring up second down and 6 with the ball at the 19 on the right hash. Panthers with twins to either side, shotgun formation, and a sidecar set to the right and behind the QB as the handoff will go straight up the gut. Nothing doing there for the ball carrier, McClendon.
Looked to me like Sidney Summers was right up in the mix there, made a nice read, got up in the hole, made a nice hit for the really not much of a gain there, if anything.
We'll give him a gain of about 2 out across the 20 to the 21, bringing up 3rd down and 4. Line of gain is the 25. Again, twins to either side. Shotgun formation, sidecar to the right of the QB. Hansberry looking to the right. The pass is incomplete as he was looking to that far boundary. And the incomplete pass brings up 4th and 4, and the punt unit will come on for the Panthers.
Is that Caleb Brevard getting up there, getting that big paw in the way and knocking that ball down? Because it looked like behind him that was a pretty wide open, easy reception there, possibly getting to the first down. Oh, yeah, he had 2 guys there, and really the defense was just starting to collapse.
And whistles blow before the snap is off. And Woodland Hills asked for a timeout prior to the snap on the punt. So it's 6:28 to play here in a scoreless first quarter. Upper St. Clair will punt when we return. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Upper St. Clair Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for nearly 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, alignment, state inspection, emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Panthers to punt, 4th and 4 at their own 21. And the punt is away. 2 Wolverines are back deep on the return, but a short punt caroms off the leg of 1 Wolverine, and the return man will have an opportunity to scoop it up, but he'll get no further as he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills from that spot.
Well, I tell you, who was it on the returns? That Teron Best? Those kind of returns, we've seen a handful of them this year. Where I think when we were playing, those were Peter, get away from the ball. Makes a nice job, does a nice job here getting the ball and maybe saving us 10, 15 yards on the bounce. But that was kind of a risky play there. Good to see him come up with the ball cleanly and maintain possession.
Well, from our vantage point, it looked like the ball may have caromed off of the leg of one of the guys defending the gunner over there, so that may have been the issue why Nazir Taylor scooped that ball up. Woodland Hill's going to run it up the gut this time. Fullback gets the football, and it'll be a gain of 2 from the 39 to the 41-yard line as the bodies unpile. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, not much going up there for the middle for Woodland Hills. Upper St. Clair does a good job there, just kind of beating them to the line of scrimmage and clogging up the middle, not letting anything get through that line.
That was Marcus Taylor lined up at fullback on this particular drive. He and Christopher Jones have been sharing that fullback spot. 1 receiver split to the near side right as Jones steps under center. Quick step there by DeVega Bird. You talked about it all season long, Rick. As the ball carrier, Anthony Meredith carries the ball out to the 44-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 with the line to gain being the 49.
Yeah, I've been impressed all year with DeVega Bird, the way he gets off the ball. I think we talked about it the first game he came back after injury. First 3 plays off the line of scrimmage, I thought we were getting away with offsides. He's just that much faster on the snap than everybody else on the field.
Clock winding, 5:08 here in a scoreless first quarter. Woodland Hills with the football, 3rd and 5 at their own 44. Ball in the middle of the field, 1 receiver to the near side right. Woodland Hills running a counter to the right. Handoff Meredith across the 45 out to the 47-yard line, so that'll bring up 4th down and 2, and Tim Bostard's going to send out the punt unit.
Yeah, pretty good defensive stand there by Upper St. Clair. They kind of needed this to keep maintain some semblance of clock possession. Woodland Hills drained a bunch of clock on that first drive. Not much going for Upper St. Clair in the second.
Good snap this time as Whitehurst will boot it away. A spiraling punt that will send the return man back, and he'll fair catch it inside of the 15. They'll say he catches the ball at the 13-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for USC.
That might have been the prettiest punt we've seen from number 12 all year. Really came cleanly off the foot and pinned them back pretty good. So again, Woodland Hills is kind of maintaining that the advantage as far as field position goes. See if the defense come up with another 3 and out here and get the ball back and see what the offense can do.
So 1st and 10 for Upper St. Clair. They'll break the huddle with the ball in the middle of the field. Send 2 receivers to the right. Power pistol formation. The quarterback, Hansberry, running to the right, throwing to the right. The ball is tipped, and a diving Wolverine couldn't quite get there. The pass was intended for Capulio, and the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and Nazir Taylor just comes up maybe a couple feet shorter picking up that ball after it gets deflected or kind of goes right through the receiver's hands here, pops up, and, man, really close there to being a big pick.
Yeah, that would have set up Woodland Hills inside of the 20. Instead, it'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Panthers with the football at the 13. Upper St. Clair breaks the huddle. A tight end and a wing to the right. 2 receivers to the near side left. Hansberry looking left the whole way. And the pass intended for Tom Kyle, but the closest person to the football was Rodney Denard, who actually got his left hand on it, but couldn't pull it in.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like maybe a bad pattern or just a miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver there. He looked like the quarterback's throwing the deep out, and the receiver just kind of ran and stopped right at the 20, right up the seam.
And you can see Denard on the Triangle Bar and Grill replay shaking that left hand. He's got some heavy tape on that left thumb, so that may be an issue with him trying to receive footballs throughout this football game. 4:12 to play here in a scoreless first quarter. 3rd and 10 for Upper St. Clair's. The motion trips to the right of the formation. Hansberry straight drop back. He's pressured. He's going to step forward. He's got a lot of room coming to the near side left. He's got the 1st down and more across the 30 to the 35 where he will step out of bounds. Woodland Hills brought the house from the backside, and when Hansberry ducked it, he had nothing but greenery in front of him.
Yeah, the whole right side of the Woodland Hills defensive line, they got through really quickly, but then they all kind of overcommitted here. You'll see right here, the big swim move, it gets pushed inside. A little bit of pressure on the ball there, and just when he turns left, there's just nobody left there. A little bit of lack of discipline there as far as contain. Everybody's getting a little bit ball hungry there.
So 1st and 10 for Upper St. Clair. The ball at the 37 as the Panthers are going to run to the right this time. Not a lot of room over there as there were Wolverines grabbing at the ball carrier in the backfield before Cindy Summers makes the tackle. Also Tyrell Barlow in on the stop for Woody High.
Those are 2 names we're pretty familiar with hearing all year on some nice tackles, and certainly some tackles for losses. And really nice job there coming from the backside, Brevard, getting to the ball.
And this defense has made some big plays all year long, especially the front 7. Play action as Hansberry's going to run to the near side left, sticks out a stiff arm to elude one Wolverine, but won't get past the second. As coming up to make the stop is Michael Coleman for the Wolverines.
That looked like a really quick snap off the ball there. I'm not sure that their line was actually set there, Adam. But a nice job by the Woodland Hills defense to adjust and make a good read, come up, make a good tackle.
So 3rd down and 6 with the football at the 41-yard line. Clock winding to 3 minutes to play here in a scoreless first quarter. Ball on the left hash for the Panthers on 3rd down and a half dozen. 2 receivers right, 1 to the short side left. Pistol formation behind Hansberry. Straight drop back, looking right on a 3-step drop. He's got a receiver over there. The pass complete to Quentin Nelson, and Nelson's going to push his way forward. Brought down just shy of the 1st down flag, so it'll be 4th down and 1, and a decision time for Jim Render.
Yeah, pretty, I think a favorable spot there for Woodland Hills, Adam. We're kind of right down the line here at that 43-yard and 46-yard line. It looked to me like he was maybe a little bit closer to that front stick. See here if we can tell where the ball comes out. He's got to get to the 46 and a half, 47. Well, I think we got away with one there.
So 4th and 1, and the punt unit is on, and the punt away. A sky-high punt. That will take a bounce in favor of the Wolverines and will be down smartly by a Panther at the 36-yard line. The heady play there by Antonio Orsini to retreat and grab that ball at the 36.
Yeah, really nice hands there by the 6-foot junior there, Antonio Orsini. Probably saved a good 10, 15 yards on the bounce.
So 4 consecutive punts, 2 by either team, and Woodland Hills has the ball at their own 36-yard line. Woodland Hills has started drives at the 27, 39, and now at the 36.
And it's starting to look at him like this is going to be who makes the first big play. Something's going to break through one of these lines of scrimmage and head down that field for a big game.
Shotgun, bunch to the right. Nazir Taylor in the Wildcat, running right, pushing his way forward out across the 36, picking up positive yardage to around the 38-yard line.
I was corrected earlier tonight, Adam, talking to some of the Woodland Hills coaches. That's no longer called the Wildcat. They're calling that the NASCAT.
That works for me. So Taylor in the NASCAT, and the officials will confer here to talk things over as the flag was down. And it's holding against Woodland Hills. So instead of a 2-yard pickup, Woodland Hills is going to be losing yardage.
All right, Woodland Hills got to stay focused here. There's a couple penalties now. The first one they were able to overcome and pick up the first down. This would be a big one here there with less than 2 minutes left in the first quarter to get a drive going and sustain a good drive here, get some positive yardage, maybe get some points on the board.
Bunch to the left this time. Taylor in the NASCAT. Sidecar to his left-hand side. And he's going to hand off to Meredith, running to the right, cutting it back to the left, pushing his way forward. He'll pick up big yardage there out to the 25-yard, or rather the 35-yard line, to pick up of 9. So it'll go from first and 20 to second down and 11.
I don't know about you, Adam. It looks to me like number 5, Meredith, he likes finding that contact downfield. You see here, it's a nice counter play here. Little fake to the left, come back to the right, backside tackle guard pulling. And look at this. Head down, face mask to face mix there. And number 5 is going to win that battle almost every time.
Taylor running to the right, out of the quarterback spot. Trying to turn the corner. Not much room there as he'll pick up maybe 2 from the 35 to the 37. That'll bring up third down and 9.
Yeah, pretty good read there by the black jerseys. They've seen this NASCAT a couple times already. They've definitely seen it on film. They know odds are he's trying to get to the outside. And they made a nice play to get out there and get the outside contained, let them turn it up.
Woodland Hills is going to stay in the NASCAT here on 3rd and 10 with the football at the 36. Taylor running left. Now he's going to set his feet and throw the football. He's got Whitehurst wide open, but the pass just too strong. Michael Whitehurst couldn't get to the football as he had 3 or 4 steps behind the D-back, Chris Pentelis.
I really like the play call there. It's a gutsy call. And again, we said they've seen this play a bunch of times. The NASCAT, they think he's going outside. And, again, Whitehurst is out there. A little bit of a misstep there as he broke away from the coverage. And, that's not necessarily a quarterback throwing it out there. But I like the play call. Just didn't quite connect.
So Whitehurst will have to head back to punt this one away.
Which is a tough turnaround here for Whitehurst, being a little bit winded going after that ball. Let's hope he gets a good clean snap here and doesn't have to adjust too much.
He'll reset his coverage, or rather protection here, with 50 seconds to play in a scoreless first quarter. Good snap. And Whitehurst will spiral this one out there. A low punt, but it'll take a bounce and a roll in favor of Woodland Hills. Still rolling towards the 26-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Upper St. Clair.
Not a bad kick by Whitehurst. They're certainly not his best, but again, it's maintaining. Woodland Hills has kind of had the tables tilted a little bit here as far as field position advantage goes.
Don't forget, Woodland Hills will play in the WPIL playoffs next Friday night, a first-round game against an opponent to be determined. And you can tune in on the Trib Life High School Sports Network on Monday evening as the playoff pairings will be announced. And then, of course, we will have the coverage for you right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network of next week's game between Woodland Hills and an opponent to be determined at a location to be determined. Back to the field we go, where Woodland Hills looks to shut down Upper St. Clair on their 4th drive of the game. 2 receivers to the right, play action as Hansberry rolls to the right. Throws to that far boundary, and a nice catch over there is Chris Pentelis. He pays the price as he's hit hard by Jaquan Smith.
Nice recovery there by Jaquan. Gave him a little bit of cushion there, gives him that out, but comes up, makes a nice tackle. Fortunately, it's enough for them to move the sticks. I think maybe Upper St. Clair got away with an offsides there. It looked like that slot back on the right jumped a little bit early before the ball was snapped.
Clock winding here to 15 seconds to play in this scoreless first quarter. 2 receivers to the short side right. Hansberry's going to hand off. Some room for the tailback for a moment, but that closes up quickly as Colin McClendon is wrapped up and brought down as he gets to the 39-yard line, and that'll be the final play of quarter number 1. We head to the second quarter. Still scoreless here at Upper St. Clair High School, Woodland Hills, and Upper St. Clair right here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
There are few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barbers Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barbers Inn in Swissvale. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barbers Inn.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Set to begin quarter number 2. Scoreless between Woodland Hills and Upper St. Clair. Adam Gusky, Rick McIntyre on the call for you here at Upper St. Clair High School. Again, Woodland Hills 5-4 on the season, 5-2 within Allegheny 9 play. Upper St. Clair 7-0 in conference play, but 7-2 overall, including a loss to the McKeesport Tigers in non-conference play. Last week, Woodland Hills lost at West Allegheny 7-0, while the Panthers defeated the Hampton Talbots here at USC 41-21. Power pistol formation. Hansberry with a sidecar to his left, and a back stack to that left side as well. Hansberry running to the left. He's got nowhere to go as Barlow pushes him back in, and Summers makes the diving stop from behind for a loss of 1, bringing up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, good pressure to a couple of Woodland Hills defenders. Rawlings gets up in there, and then it kind of sneaks him up forward, and Summers come up and just kind of cleans up the hit.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 8. The football at the 38-yard line. Line to gain is the 46. 2 receivers split to either side. Hansberry in the pistol. Now he'll take a step back into the shotgun with a sidecar to his right. Looked right for a moment. Now he's going to step forward. Zigging and zagging, driving his way forward. He's got the 1st down and more into Woodland Hills territory to the 48-yard line before the tackle was made by Jaden Lucas.
I don't know if that was maybe kind of a call he made at the line there, Adam. Looked like he kind of reset things a little bit. And just kind of followed that sidecar right up the right side there through the 4-hole, and really just nobody left at home in there for Woodland Hills on the blitz.
It's 1st and 10 for Upper St. Clair. They have the ball in Woodland Hills territory for the first time today. 2 receivers split to either side as Hansberry will hand off to McClendon, and he'll get to the line of scrimmage and no further.
Yeah, that's kind of more than often here tonight. There's not much. Nobody's really winning this line of scrimmage so far, Adam. It's kind of a stalemate almost every play. Good job here by the defensive line to get a little bit of pressure. Really nice job with the hands there by Michael Lucas. Kind of sheds his blocker, gets into the hole, makes a nice stop.
2nd and 10. 10:25 to play here in the second frame. 2 receivers split to either side as the ball's on the left hash. Hansberry in the pistol. Looking right the whole way. Settles. Now he's going to try to take off running, and an ankle tackle made from behind. Tyrell Barlow makes the stop, and a flag coming from the referee. That traditionally means holding.
I got to guess that's number 55 there trying to hold my big dog. Did you see him come fly through the middle of that line of scrimmage?
I did.
Big man coming up strong, kind of flushed that quarterback out, and it's got to be holding.
Yeah, as DeVega Bird came in there, surging through, that pushed Hansberry over to that left-hand side and allowed Tyrell Barlow to make the stop. Taking a look at the Triangle Bar and Grill replay. Look how he takes on 2 blockers and still is able to surge through there, get past, and allow the stop to be made by Tyrell Barlow.
I'll tell you, anybody who's been listening to me all year is going to get sick of it, but I absolutely love that big man out there. DeVega Bird that's my boy on this team this year. I just love watching him play. I like to see that they're using him selectively on defensive plays to kind of clog up that middle and get some pressure.
2nd and 28 after the foul, 10 yards from the spot. Hansberry straight drop back, pressured by Bird. He's going to tuck. He's going to run to the near side right, and he's going to slide down underneath Michael Roman. Also in on the stop is Sidney Summers.
Yeah, Summers might not get a stat on that, but he does a nice job there, making a read, kind of coming off of a coverage, getting up there, filling the gap, and forcing him into the tackle there. Roman gets a stat. I think Summers gets the assist.
Clock winding. 9:35 to play here in quarter number 2.
But again, DeVega Bird getting back there and flushing the quarterback out, getting pressure.
3rd down and 30 for Upper St. Clair with the ball at their own 33. Handoff's going to go to Colin McClendon, who's trying to spin his way forward. Not a lot of room there as a pair of Wolverines are in on the stop. Christopher Jones and Eric Oliver make the tackle for Woody High. And after Upper St. Clair surged the ball into Woodland Hills territory, the Woodland Hills defense, aided by a penalty, is able to keep the Panthers at bay.
Yeah, nice job there for Christopher Jones. Shed his block, makes a nice read, comes up and makes contact.
Punt away, sky high punt that's going to send Nazir Taylor back and then forward. And Ronnie Denard was telling Taylor, call for the fair catch. He didn't, and that allowed 2 Panthers to wrap him up around the waist immediately after catching the football. And Jason Sweeney makes the stop for Woodland Hills, but another precarious position. The Wolverines were in by Nazir Taylor on the punt return.
You know, as the coach in me right now is screaming. My soul is screaming. Take that fair catch. The competitor in me is going, hey, he's making an effort to try and advance that ball a little bit, but that's a very risky play here with a very tightly contested game early on.
4th possession for Woodland Hills. They have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 32. Counter to the near side left. Meredith, the ball carrier, driving his way backwards out across the 35 to the 36-yard line for a pickup of 4.
Yeah, we've said it all year with Meredith. He's really, really good at getting those the extra yards after first contact. He basically gets here. I think he gets hit actually behind the line of scrimmage, right at the line. He's able to just keep the knees and the feet moving, picks up some positive yardage where there possibly shouldn't have been none.
And he took DeLulis for a ride there out across the 35 to the 36. 2nd and 6. Jones, straight drop back, looking right, throwing right. Pass complete. Whitehurst to the far boundary. He's got the first down and more. Still on his feet inside of Panthers territory. They'll say his right foot stepped out of bounds at the 47-yard line, but that's more than enough for a Woodland Hills first down.
And I think that's probably about the biggest gain of the game for either team right now. It's Michael Whitehurst here. Pretty simple little the D pattern there, the little 7-8 yard stop and go, kind of almost an out, but just find the soft spot there. Makes a nice job, does a nice job getting the ball, turning outside, finding the space.
2 receivers to the near side left. Pitch to the left. The ball carrier, Jaquan Smith. He'll surge his way across the 50 into Panthers territory to the 48-yard line. Tackle made by Chris Pantelis, who's slow to his feet as he's been shaken up a couple of times today.
Well, that was a pretty big hit he got laid on there by Jaquan Smith. You know, Jaquan is not the biggest cat on the field, but when he gets moving, there's some momentum going there, and he's not afraid of contact either. Kind of lowers the boom there. Ooh. Kind of got him right in the chest.
2nd down and 5 with the football at the 48. 2 receivers right. There's Jones. He's going to throw it down the field to the far boundary. A jump ball and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Davion Rochelle, but a flag is thrown right near the line of scrimmage. It came from the umpire, and a lot of times he's looking at those offensive linemen holding as well.
Yeah, odds are where that laundry's laying, that's holding. I know the young freshman, as he was on the ground there, was kind of maybe made a couple motions at the ref. He thought maybe there was a little bit of interference there. See if we can see the holding. Maybe on 55 there, he had the right arm kind of locked.
So after the penalty, it'll push Woodland Hills back to the 41-yard line. Woodland Hills had the ball at the Panthers' 48 on 2nd and 5. Now it's 2nd and 19, so ultimately a loss of 14 on that play. Handoff. Jaquan Smith into Panthers territory. Boy, he turned on the Jets after he turned that corner, picking up big yardage all the way to the Panthers' 45-yard line, where it brings up a third and very manageable too.
Well, he sure did, Adam. He just finds a little bit of a crease out here on the outside, and there's really not much room here. But you can see right there, these next 3 strides, he picks up almost 15 yards in 3 steps. That's called 0 to 60 and nil.
17-yard pickup on that run by Jaquan Smith as the clock winds to 7 minutes to play here in the first half. Ball on the left hash, 2 receivers split to the right. 1 back set behind Jones. And Michael Whitehurst moves early, and instead of 3rd down and 2, it's going to be 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, a little anxious there by number 12. Again, that's got to be 3rd or 4th procedural penalty now. Woodland Hills costing us some yardage, costing us some decent down and distance.
So 3rd and 7 for Woodland Hills, the ball at the 50-yard line.
This is a really big 3rd down here for Woodland Hills.
Each team has had 4 possessions. Upper St. Clair has punted on their 4. Woodland Hills has their 4th now. 2 receivers split right. Daniel Jones is going to step forward. He's going to get inside of the 50, still on his feet, driving towards the 45. They'll say the 46. And it'll be 4th down and 3. And Tim Bostard has a decision to make on 4th and 3 inside of Panthers territory. And he's going to send the punt unit on.
Yeah, as Jones got brought down there, I'm up here kind of going, go for it. I mean, this is possibly 4 down territory, but I think with the time on the clock and the situation, I think Coach Bostard made a better decision than I did there.
Maybe 10 more yards, and I think you're spot on with going for it on 4th and 3. Whitehurst, rugby punt, taking steps to his right. Beauty!
Boomer, really booming kick there.
Fair caught at the 12-yard line by Tom Kyle. And the Panthers backed up to their own 12.
Another nice kick there by Whitehurst. That one had a little bit of we could actually hear that through the glass here. Really nice power on the foot there by Mike Whitehurst, and pins the Panther offense back there with 6 minutes is a lot of time, but they've got a long field ahead of them now.
Upper St. Clair starting their 5th drive of the game back at their own 12. They've started at their own 15, their own 13, and now at their own 12. 2 receivers to the right as Hansberry is going to run to the left, away from the strength. He's got the 1st down and more. Finally shoved to the boundary by Michael Coleman, but not before picking up big yardage, a pickup of 18 to the 30.
Really nice job there by the 5'9" senior Tom Kyle, kind of one-on-one blocking Ronnie Denard, who's not, pretty good defensive back there. He kind of drives, I don't know if you can see it, but he's driving Denard back. He had him just manhandling him for about 10 yards. Really probably opened up about 5-6 yards of gap there to pick up some extra yardage.
So the Panthers will send 2 receivers to the wide side right, 1 to the short side left. Power pistol as the handoff will go to Colin McClendon. He'll drive his way forward across the 35 out towards the 36-yard line. Check that. That's Orsini, the ball carrier that time for USC.
Lucas there on the tackle. Little too much yardage there to give up on a kind of a play that comes up the middle. Looked like we had him at the line of scrimmage. Let him churn his feet a little bit and just didn't quite get him down when we needed to.
2 receivers right again. Hansberry's going to keep it himself this time. Running to the left, trying to push it back to the right. He's got enough for the 1st down out towards the 45-yard line. And while Upper St. Clair has moved the ball at times on their first 4 possessions, this by far has been their most sustained possession of the game.
Yeah, and it's pretty much all been Hansberry here. A couple keeps and getting that extra blocker out there, I think, is making a big difference for the Panthers.
1st and 10 for USC, the ball on the left hash at the 45-yard line. They'll send trips to the right, 1 receiver to the short side left, Hansberry in the shotgun. He's going to run to the left straight away. To the far boundary, he's inside of Woodland Hills territory. He's got the 1st down and more as Nazir Taylor makes the tackle after a pickup of 12.
Yeah, it looks like the coaches for USC kind of just feel like, hey, we got something going here. We're going to keep running this guy. And until Woodland Hills proves that they can stop it, I think we're going to see a lot more of this here in this drive.
So 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line for Upper St. Clair. Clock stopped with 4:49 to play in the second frame. Trips right, one receiver to the short side left. Hansberry calls out signals with the sidecar to his left-hand side. He's just going to run to the left again. He's got positive yardage inside of the 40, out towards the 37-yard line before he's spun down.
Yeah, I think we can see pretty clearly here what this halftime adjustment's going to have to be for the Woodland Hills defense. They got to do a better job of getting that contained and not letting Hansberry get to the outside there when he's got that lead blocker. Got to get up there and challenge the blocker and really force him to cut it inside.
We are the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Since 1987, we've
2nd down and 3 for Upper St. Clair. The ball in the left hash at the 36-yard line. Power pistol to receiver's right. Handoff will go to the tailback, Orsini. He's got nowhere to go as he's driven back by a host of Wolverines, including Joshua Rawlings, also in on the stop, Michael Lucas.
Yeah, it looked like Lucas came up in there, almost jarred that ball loose. I don't know if you saw when he took those, 21 took those kind of shuffle steps back. Looked like he was almost maybe ready to cough that ball up.
It's amazing how Lucas shed one block and then took on another blocker and was able to sidestep that blocker to make the initial contact before he got some help from his friends.
Yeah, well coached there by John Carter. Good use of the hands.
3rd and 5, ball at the 38-yard line. Pistol formation. Hansberry looks left, throws left, has a receiver open on that left-hand side, and a nice move in the open field there by Jesse Farah as he was able to sidestep. I think it was Nazir Taylor over there to carry the ball all the way down to the 15-yard line before stepping out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't think that's something we've really seen all year, anybody beating Naz Taylor on either side of the ball one-on-one. But he does exactly what you're taught to do as a receiver. You catch that ball, you spin to the outside and look for open grass. You can see here he gets there and just makes a nice sidestep. Nazir kind of overcommits to the inside and allows him to pick up that extra yardage after the catch.
It's a big drive for Upper St. Clair, starting at their own 12. They now have the ball 1st and 10 inside of the Woodland Hills red zone at the 15. Hansberry running to the left as he pulled the ball out of the belly of Orsini and drives his way inside of the 15 to around the 13-yard line.
That looked like maybe about a 2-yard pickup there. Not much going, but just enough that keeping the momentum going for the jerseys, the black jerseys here. At this point in Woodland Hills, you got to be looking to pop that ball loose, maybe strip the ball, really kill this momentum.
2:45 on a winding clock here in the second quarter. 2nd and 9 for Upper St. Clair at the 14. Looking left, throwing left. The pass to that far boundary is incomplete, and a flag comes in from the umpire in the middle of the field. We'll have to check in with our officials to see what this call is.
But again, odds are where that flag is, it's going to be a positive thing for the white jerseys here, and much needed. Not only do we get maybe the 10 yards, but we get a little bit of a breather here, a little bit of a pause, and kind of this is one of those things that can suck that momentum out of the team that's driving.
Panther fans on the far sideline not happy with the call, but the folks rooting for the visitors on the near boundary are certainly much happier with the outcome of that flag. And after the flag, it'll be 2nd and long. Line to gain is the 5. The ball is back at the 23, so it's 2nd and 18 for USC. Panthers going to send Hansberry under center for a rare occasion. He's going to look for the throwback screen. Now he has to tuck and run as the Wolverines read it. And then Woodland Hills was able to swallow up Hansberry as Bavard and Summers converged and made the stop back at the 24-yard line for a loss of 1.
Really nice job there. The defense kind of holding their places, not overcommitting. You see here, it's really easy for this defense to kind of overcommit, get to that outside, and leave that open, the middle wide open. Bavard does a nice job maintaining his position, maintaining his gap, and comes up, makes a big stop for Woodland Hills.
Timeout on the field. We'll step away to scoreless football game with 2:14 to play in the second quarter. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Today's broadcast of Woodland Hills football is brought to you by the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club. Since 1905, Rotary clubs across the globe have brought business and professional leaders together to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. The Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club meets every Friday at noon at Shelley Pie. Rotary, service above self.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back in Upper St. Clair, where Woodland Hills and the Panthers tied up at 0 apiece. Panthers with the ball, 3rd down and 19 at the Woodland Hills 24. Line to gain is the 5. As Hansberry looks to the sideline, he has 2 receivers split to either side as the ball's in the middle of the field. He'll now set in the pistol with Orsini behind him. Hansberry looking left, now looking back to the right-hand side. And the ball is intercepted at the 1-yard line. Michael Coleman has it. He's across the 20, across the 25 to the 30, cutting it to the inside to the 34-yard line where he's wrapped and brought down by an O-lineman. But a big change in momentum there as Upper St. Clair took the ball into the Woodland Hills red zone. Defensive plays and penalties backed up the Panthers, and then Woodland Hills took it away.
Just like we said, that holding penalty really kind of clogged up the Panther drive there, and kind of gave it a little pause, gave a little breathing room to the white jerseys, and really nice big defensive play there. And that might be one of those splash plays we're talking about. It's whoever's going to make the big play, and who makes the big mistake first, and that's kind of a compound effect there on that one.
Straight drop back for Jones. And the play is broken up, and Jones is going to throw the ball to the near sideline. Now, he has to do a couple of things. He has to get out of the tackle box, and he has to throw the ball across the line of scrimmage. He only did one of those 2 as he threw the ball to the near boundary, but it was well short of the line of scrimmage, and it will be a spot foul and a loss of down.
Yeah, that's a big penalty there for the Woodland Hills offense. Really makes this first down almost unattainable. They're going to have to get a big splash play here on 1st, 2nd down to get us into some reasonable down and distance.
So that'll push Woodland Hills back inside of the 20 to the 18-yard line. So the ball from the 34 back to the 18. Now the line to gain is the 44-yard line. Handoff. Jaquan Smith running to the left as the flag comes in. Smith got to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. And Woodland Hills is probably going to be backed up again. This umpire has certainly had his eyes on the offensive line from both teams thus far.
Yeah, it's a lot of holding calls so far. And that one is in the general vicinity where the center was kind of flowing.
Upper St. Clair will decline that penalty. They'd rather take the down. And it'll be...
I didn't see it. I really didn't see what they were calling there.
3rd and long after the 1-yard run. So 3rd and long for the Panthers. Scoreboard says 3rd and 25. As the ball is on the 19-yard line for the Wolverines, rather. As the handoff goes to Jaquan Smith, he'll zig and zag across the 25 out to the 27-yard line. That gives Woodland Hills a bit of breathing room as a timeout is called from the far sideline. Upper St. Clair wants to save as much time as possible for a final drive. We'll step away to 1:14 to play in a scoreless first half. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
I like Jack.
For the Panthers, number 2, Tom Kyle. Punting is number 12, Michael.
Punt unit is on for Woodland Hills. Low punt, or low snap rather, and Whitehurst gets the punt away, and it will take a bounce in favor of Upper St. Clair back towards Woodland Hills territory to the 49-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for USC.
Yeah, it's never necessarily a positive thing to say, but I think right now, if the game ended, our player of the game might be Mike Whitehurst as a punter. He's had about the most action, handled a couple risky snaps and gotten the ball away. That one just took an unfortunate bounce back towards the Woodland Hills end zone. But with a minute left, this is obviously, I think, the best field position the Panthers have started with here. Really big series here for the Woodland Hills defense. Get some pressure on that quarterback and see what we can do.
No motion trips to the left of the formation as Hansberry looks left the whole way. Pumps and looked to tuck and run, but Summers was there to wrap him up. Tyrell Barlow joins him, and a loss on that play of a handful. Backs the ball up to the 46-yard line. They'll set the ball at the 47. Now they'll set it at the 46. And it will be, again, a loss of 5, and it's 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, that's I think you can count that as a coverage sack there. Really nice job out of the secondary for Woodland Hills there, not giving any open ground. And Summers just comes in, cleans it up, and here comes Big Boy. Watch Bird blow up this middle.
Trips left as Hansberry, straight drop back, looking left the whole way, throwing to the left. It's in and out of the hands of Rodney Denard. I talked about that heavy wrap on that left hand. That may have had something to do with it. Number 2, what may have had something to do with it is he saw nothing but greenery in front of him.
That was, if he comes up with that, Adam, that is a pick 6 for sure. He was already moving a million miles an hour. It looked like it just kind of hit the chest plate of the shoulder pads. Couldn't quite grab it.
And he only had one Panther nearby, and Tom Kyle, and he would have had a step on him already. So 3rd down and 14 for the Panthers, make it 3rd and 15 for USC with the ball at the 46-yard line, 20 seconds to play. As Hansberry's going to hand off, the ball carrier McClendon running to the left. He's wrapped up right near the midfield stripe. Clock winding down here in the 2nd quarter, and I think Woodland Hills will be happy to go into the locker room tied up at 0-0. The Panthers already making their way to the locker room as well.
Yeah, obviously a pretty conservative play there. Just kind of run the clock out there. They weren't expecting to get the 1st down and really continue to drive. So really just a defensive juggernaut on both sides of the ball here. Really nice job by both teams, kind of counteracting and reading and making the stops when they need to.
We're going to step away for about 30 seconds. When we return, we'll recap half number 1, and we'll send it to halftime. Again, you're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
ABOS Opticians on Braddock Avenue in Braddock is your one-stop optical shop. With hundreds of the latest frame styles and lenses, the skilled opticians at ABOS will help select and fit the best eyewear option for you. Plus, ABOS Opticians is the best eyewear repair facility in the area. No matter what your eyewear needs are, make ABOS Opticians your opticians. Call ABOS Opticians at 412-271-4424 or visit abosopticians.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
And we welcome you back to Upper St. Clair High School in Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania. Adam Gusky and Rick McIntyre on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. 24 minutes of football are in the books, and we are scoreless between the two biggest rivals in the Allegheny 9 Conference, and it's been several punts, one big play to end a drive on the interception by Michael Coleman, but Woodland Hills couldn't do anything with it, Rick. And we have seen Upper St. Clair twice take the ball into Woodland Hills territory, but defensive plays and some penalties committed by Upper St. Clair stymied their drives. You add that to that turnover, and we don't see anything happening for USC. Conversely, Woodland Hills has only had a handful of very successful offensive plays.
Yeah, again, we said it right before we went for the break there. It's just this is a defensive struggle so far, and I think we called it from the first maybe 2-3 series. It's going to be about who makes that first big breakthrough play, who breaks that 60-yarder, who maybe if Denard comes up with that interception and that goes to pick 6. that's going to be the mistake or the big individual effort. I think is going to maybe turn the flavor of the game in one team's side or the other.
If you're watching live on Facebook or on our television affiliates or listening live on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, enjoy the Woodland Hills and Upper St. Clair marching bands. And if you're watching one of our replays, we'll be back with the second half. You're tuned into Woodland Hills and Upper St. Clair on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
You're listening to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Barn Grill, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, Bush Brothers Car Care, the Barbers Inn in Swissvale, A-Boss Opticians, the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club, Web Landings, and LG3 Entertainment. Now it's time for the Woodland Hills Football Network Halftime Show.
Second half here at Upper St. Clair. We're scoreless as the Woodland Hills Wolverines take on the Upper St. Clair Panthers in the final game of the 2017 regular season. Woodland Hills 5-2 in conference play. Upper St. Clair 7-0 within the Allegheny 9 Conference. Upper St. Clair in the driver's seat for a conference title, as they not only are undefeated, but they also have they've also only handed the West Allegheny Indians their only loss of the season. Adam Gusky, Rick McIntyre on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. And Rick, defensive struggles, the only way to really describe this football game thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's been some brilliant defensive strategy going on here. A lot of really nice reads. A lot of nice blitz packages, a couple twists, a couple turns here, really getting kind of clogging up the middle when it's needed. A couple big breaks there. They ran it for a little bit there with the quarterback kind of sneaking to the outside with that extra blocker. Seems like Woodland Hills, and they were driving, and that penalty kind of stalled that whole play or that whole drive. Kind of curious to see if Upper St. Clair comes back to that and see what Woodland Hills has done at halftime to adjust.
We're going to step away for about 90 seconds, and when we return, it'll be time for the second half kickoff. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at Upper St. Clair, where we're tied at 0, set to begin the second half momentarily here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Adam Gusky and Rick McIntyre on the call for you here in Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania, in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. Rick, you have the experience in coaching, certainly much more than I do. What was going on in the locker room as Woodland Hills was preparing for the second half?
Well, I think coming into this game, Woodland Hills knows that they were the underdog coming in. And I, as a coach and I think as a player, that's always the favorable position to come into a game. And I think they've done a really good job defensively holding Upper St. Clair, obviously keeping them off the scoreboard. So I think they're hammering home that we're doing better than anybody here thought we were going to do. Let's adjust on, again, these quarterback keeps and maintaining our reads, maintaining our positions, and not letting that break to the outside. Really, that's the only weakness I've seen on the Woodland Hills defense. Offensively, I think that they've done a good job. Meredith, I think, did a really nice job in the first quarter, really pounding the ball up the middle. I think they're going to build on that. They're going to keep feeding that ball up the middle. Maybe get a couple of those, the soft 8-yard out passes to open it up a little bit. And I think that's about what they kind of went over at halftime.
We'll take our final break of the halftime show, and when we return, it will be the second half kickoff. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers here on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities. Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for nearly 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, alignment, state inspection, emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Every drive today has ended in a punt except for two. Upper St. Clair's drive from their own 12 all the way into the Woodland Hills red zone ended up ending with an interception by Michael Coleman. And the Panthers' last drive of the half ended as the half expired. And we are set to begin quarter number 3 in a scoreless football game between the Woodland Hills Wolverines and the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Adam Gusky, Rick McIntyre on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Taking a look at those Allegheny 9 conference standings. Upper St. Clair atop the conference at 7-0, as I alluded to in the halftime show. West Allegheny's lone conference loss came at the hands of these Upper St. Clair Panthers. Woodland Hills 5-2 within the conference. Their two losses coming at West A last week and at home against Fox Chapel early in the season. Teams 1 through 4 have already qualified for the playoffs, as we are underway for the second half here in Upper St. Clair. Chucky Hanch's end-over-end kick will be returned from the 9-yard line. On the return, Colin McClendon, who will drive his way out towards the 20, maybe the 21-yard line. We'll actually credit him to the 23, where it'll be first down and 10 for USC.
Looked like Kelly Brevard coming up here and making a nice hit there and stopping that return. So again, pretty long field ahead of the Panthers here to start out the second half.
Best field position Upper St. Clair had today was at their own 49, and that was at the end of the second quarter, and they weren't able to do much with it as the Woodland Hills defense held strong. So first and 10 for USC as they send a bunch to the short side right, and they'll run the end around. The ball carrier, Dominic Capullo, and Capullo drives his way out towards the 30-yard line, where he's brought down by Nazir Taylor. Pickup of about 7 brings up second down and 3.
That's just a case, Adam, where the offense calls the right play against the right defense. Woodland Hills kind of bunched everybody into the middle there, was kind of running that A gap, running the A and B gaps, and they kind of busted out to the outside. Just a well-timed and good play call by the USC Panthers.
They'll motion into a power pistol, will the Panthers, and the handoff from Hansberry goes to the tailback. Nothing doing there as he's brought down about a half-yard shy of the line of scrimmage.
Looked like Big Boy in there making that tackle.
Summers in on the tackle. DeVega Bird also in on the stop for Woody High.
Little shift there before the ball snapped, and yeah, you're not moving him. You see that one-on-one attempt? That's just not going to happen.
3rd and 3, play action. Hansberry looking to the left. The pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it'll fall innocently to the turf. 2 Wolverines were converging on the football after it was tipped high, but the incomplete pass brings up 4th down and about 3, and the punt unit will come on for USC.
Nice defensive series here by Woodland Hills to start out the second half, a little momentum. Couldn't see who got the hand on that ball, but a very nice play. Can't get to the quarterback, get the hands up, try to bat that thing down.
They've been Barlow over there on the right defensive end. Good snap, and the punt away, and over end punt, and Nazir Taylor will catch it on his shoe tops, running to the near side left, inside of Panthers territory. Will he be spun down at the 49-yard line? 1st and 10 for Woody High at that spot.
I haven't really seen a whole lot of action out of number 1, Nazir Taylor, here tonight. You know, they ran that NASCAT out there for like maybe that one series, and it seemed like USC was really keen on it. They had the opportunity there with the long pass to Whitehurst down the left sideline, didn't quite break. I'm curious to see if they start maybe trying to run that isolation, get Naz one-on-one on the outside with one of these receivers, and they'll play action and dump it down the sideline.
Ball at the Upper St. Clair 49. This is the first time either team has started in their opponent's territory. High backfield behind Daniel Jones. The fullback is Christopher Jones, and the tailback is Meredith. 1 receiver to the short side left, and Nazir Taylor. Double tights. Counter to the near side left. Handoff. Meredith trying to turn the corner as he absorbs some contact at the line of scrimmage and shoves his way forward for a pickup of about 1. Tackle on the play by Dominic Capulio.
Nice job, Capulio, there to get the first initial contact. Meredith is not an easy guy to bring down. And Meredith does a nice job there to pick up any kind of positive yardage. But really nice head-to-head hit there. Kind of sheds it off a little bit, number 5 did, but Capulio kept his ground and brought him down.
High backfield behind Jones. 1 receiver to the wide side right in a double tight end formation. Pitch to the right. Meredith running right. He's in deep into Panthers territory. He's close to the first down markers. He'll be brought down right at that first down flag at the 39.
Yeah, that's too close to call for me. Looks like you're advancing the sticks. Got the first down.
So pickup of 9 there for number 5, Anthony Meredith. Ball in the center of the field here for the Wolverines. This by far the deepest Woodland Hills has had the ball into Panthers territory. By a good 7 or 8 yards further than Woodland Hills has penetrated the Panthers line on the side of the field. Double tights again, high backfield. Hand off and a hesitation. Meredith running right. He's got room. Spun down from behind as he gets towards the 30. They'll mark him down at the 31-yard line. And a touchdown saving tackle from behind by a Panther there, because had it not been for that linebacker coming from behind, Meredith would have been off to the races.
He sure would have. He had a nice big head of steam there. That play is actually going left. Makes a nice cut there behind the line of scrimmage. Almost a broken play. Finds a little bit of grass out there, and yeah, he was 1 shoestring tackle away from making that big play we've been talking about all day.
Harvey Roush from his defensive end spot made that stop. High backfield again on 2nd down and 2. Jones straight drop back, looking left, throwing left. Pass intended for Nazir Taylor, and it's broken up. I think Jesse Farah got just enough of a hand on the ball to knock it away from Taylor. Back in one-on-one coverage.
I like the play call there. That's essentially what we were just talking about a minute ago, is getting that one-on-one coverage with Nazir. I've said it all year. If I got one-on-one and I'm the quarterback and I see number 1 out there, I'm throwing it up for grabs, because 9 times out of 10, he's either coming down with it or he's going to prevent the interception at the very worst.
3rd and 2, ball at the 31. 1 receiver to the wide side left. Double tights. Pitch to Meredith, running left, cutting it back to the right. He's got the first down, shoving his way forward before being stood up by a host of black jerseys, and finally will go down around the 25, but his forward progress was stalled at the 27, they say, but more than enough for a first down for Woodland Hills.
I'm amazed with Meredith all year here. He does a little bit of a dance back here, but as soon as he finds that crack, his head's upfield, shoulders are square, and he's a million miles an hour when he hits the hole.
8:27 clock stop here in the 3rd quarter after the first down. Now to wind. High backfield. Handoff, Meredith. Runs into a massive humanity after a 2-yard gain. Tackle on the play by Dante Greco.
I like the call there, a massive humanity. I think that's my new nickname for DeVega Bird.
There you go.
He is a massive humanity on that left side.
But he is a massive human. So 2nd and 8 for Woodland Hills with the football at the 26. Scoreless here at Upper St. Clair. Straight drop back. Jones looking left. Completes the pass. Nazir Taylor spins free. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End zone. Nazir Taylor. And Woodland Hills strikes first.
There it was. That's the breakthrough play that we were looking for. And again, when you can isolate Nazir Taylor, and what sets this up is Meredith in the backfield running as well as he has all day, and really bringing the defense into the box a little bit, leaving one-on-one coverage with a soft over-top coverage. They ran the perfect play there, the little skinny post, and he's off to the races.
Chucky Hanchett on to attempt the PAT for Woodland Hills out of the hold of Whitehurst. And the flag flies as there was some movement before the snap. I'll have to see if this was against the Panthers or the Wolverines. And the initial indication is encroachment against USC. And that is, I'm going to say a false start instead against Woodland Hills. So that'll back Woody High up 5 yards. And Hanchett's PAT gets just a bit harder.
Yeah, this tight of a game here, you don't want to make this extra 1 point any more difficult than you have to.
So the snap will come from the 8 instead of the 3, meaning the PAT will come from the 15 instead of the 10, making it a 25-yard PAT for Chucky Hanchett out of the hold of Whitehurst. And the long snapper, Marcus Taylor. High snap. Somehow Whitehurst was able to jump up, get it down, and Hanchett booted it off of the left upright. No good. But still, Woodland Hills out on top of Upper St. Clair, 6-0 with 7:35 to play in the third quarter. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Today's broadcast of Woodland Hills football is brought to you by the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club. Since 1905, Rotary clubs across the globe have brought business and professional leaders together to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. The Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club meets every Friday at noon at Shelly Pie. Rotary, service above self.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Woodland Hills on top of Upper St. Clair, 6-0 on a 26-yard touchdown pass from Daniel Jones to Nazir Taylor. Great pass, great catch, and more impressively is how Taylor broke the grasp of the D-back there and was able to spin free and take it into the end zone for a Woodland Hills touchdown. Chucky Hanchett, his kickoff, out of bounds to the near sideline, and Upper St. Clair will be able to start this drive at their own 35. And you know, Rick, that missed extra point by Woodland Hills as it caromed off of the left upright. Let's hope it doesn't come into play later, but it certainly could.
Yeah, and again, I said it before the snap after the false start we got called on there, that this type of a game, that 1 point could really come back and haunt you. I can't wait to see the replay on that, because I've never seen a holder actually standing upright, legs locked, and get the ball down. Excellent effort there by number 12 to even get that kick off.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Upper St. Clair with the football at the 35-yard line. Power pistol formation, receiver split to either side and a wing to the left. Low motion to twins on the right-hand side now, as the handoff will go to the tailback. The ball carrier, McClendon, has nowhere to go as he's driven back by a few Wolverines.
There's a textbook gang tackle there up the middle for the Woodland Hills defense.
Looked like Teron Best led the charge for Woody High after the 2-yard gain.
Yeah, Summers makes first contact there, and just everybody with the blue hat seems like came up and got a lick in.
And we also saw Josh Rawlings come in and lay a lick onto the ball carrier before he went down. 2nd down and 8 for Upper St. Clair with the football at their own 37. Just under 7 minutes to play here in quarter number 3 as the pass is complete to the near sideline. Chris Pantelis able to surge into Woodland Hills territory to the 45-yard line. A pickup on that play of 18 yards.
Yeah, interesting little move there. Kind of spun to the inside there, and I think Nazir Taylor was maybe reacting to the play we saw earlier where he beat him to the outside. And Naz does his job there and keeps him inside contained. Just a little bit late coming up with the help.
1st and 10 for Upper St. Clair. The football at the Woodland Hills 45-yard line on the right hash. Pistol formation, wing to the right, 2 receivers to the wide side left. Hard count. Hansberry off of play action. Now he's going to tuck and run. Running to the right-hand side. Roman comes up and makes the arm tackle, bringing him down for a modest gain of about 2, maybe 3.
Tell you what, I don't know how much you saw the replay from last week, Adam, but Mike Roman had a couple tackles last week with just nothing but it seemed like the fingertips. I don't know if this kid's got the strongest hands in Whitfield or what's going on, but very similar tackle here where he doesn't get a good hit on but just gets that one hand, and he's strong enough to hold on and bring him down.
Yeah, very similar circumstance to what we saw a week ago in one of his big plays as he was our State Senator Jay Costa player of the game. Those linebackers have really played well over the last handful of weeks for Woody High. Power pistol. Motioning to Twins to the left-hand side as Hansberry off of play action, looks right the whole way, throws to the near side right, and the pass is incomplete. The ball was in the hands of the receiver, Pantelis, but he got a shove from Taylor, jostling the ball loose, and the incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, a little bit of swagger there coming off that play from number 1 Taylor. You could tell he's not real happy about getting beat maybe on those couple plays, and he's looking to make up some ground. Yeah, I mean, it's nice delivery here, nice pattern, hits him in the hands, and Taylor just comes up with a well-timed hit, jars him enough to jar that ball loose.
3rd and 8 for USC. Shotgun sidecar to the right-hand side of the QB, Hansberry. Hansberry's going to run to the right. He's got enough for the first down. He's off to the races inside of the 25 to the 20. Nearly had the ball pulled loose before he's finally brought down by Nazir Taylor, but not before getting to the 16-yard line. But a flag is all the way back near the line of scrimmage, and this, in all likelihood, is going to negate a big play for the Panthers.
And there is nobody happier in this stadium right now than Sidney Summers. See, he came up, made the right play, made the right read, tries to get the hit on in the backfield, and just barely lets him slip through for the big gain. So if this comes back, Sidney Summers is going to be a happy young man out there.
So the Panthers fans on the far sideline not going to be happy after this holding penalty called against USC, and the flag was dropped a yard deep in the backfield, so it'll be a loss of 11 ultimately, pushing that ball all the way back to the 46-yard line. The line to gain is the Woodland Hills 35, so that'll be 3rd down and 19 for USC.
In actuality, that's almost like a 40-yard penalty now, from where they, from the total game from that line of scrimmage and where they're ended up now. Big break for Woodland Hills for the ref to catch that holding, which essentially happens on every play, as you know.
No, I wouldn't know.
Oh, you were a lineman. You held every play.
I most certainly did not.
Oh, I did.
Hansberry rolling to the near side right. He's pressured as he's going to tuck, and he's going to be forced to the near boundary by Joshua Rawlings. Loss of about a half a yard, and the punt unit will come on for Upper St. Clair.
Another nice defensive series here from Woodland Hills. Really just not giving up those big plays. Obviously, the one they did give up, but there was a hold that, potentially led to that play. They're doing a really good job here in the second half, containing that outside and not letting anybody get out there and beat them.
Flags fly prior to the punt being released, and I think this may have been a false start against USC.
Yeah, it looked like a couple guys weren't quite set there before they snapped the ball.
So that'll back Upper St. Clair even further from the 45 back to the 40. So instead of 4th and 20, it's now going to be 4th and 25.
Is it further or farther? I think it's farther.
Farther is the distance.
Yes.
The ball will bounce a couple of times towards Nazir Taylor, and he thought about picking that ball up, but after he changed his mind, I really think, Rick, at that time he should have retreated from the football much further than he did, or farther than he did.
I'll tell you, if there's a camera on me in the booth right now, every time there's a punt coming in his ear tonight, I'm standing up. Like, that ball's coming at his feet, and I'm screaming, get away, get away. So I love the aggressiveness. He wants to make that big play, but you got to get out of there. You got to get out of town and, let them down the ball, not even risk letting them get the ball with that kind of field position.
That's for sure. 1st down and 10 now for Woodland Hills. The ball at their own 22. Pitch to the right-hand side. Running back's got some room as he crosses the 25 before being driven back.
Number 10, Jaquan Smith.
So Smith, the ball carrier, picking up about a handful of yards there, bringing up 2nd down, and make it 4 after Smith picks up 6.
Yeah, if you're the Upper St. Clair defense now, how do you even come out now? I mean, Meredith has been pounding the ball up the middle, pounding it. Now they got Jaquan Smith in there who can beat you to the outside. He can cut it up the middle. The number of weapons this backfield has for Woodland Hills is daunting.
Whitehurst, the lone receiver, to the wide side left as Woodland Hills runs the counter to the left-hand side. Jaquan Smith, the ball carrier. He's off to the races. There's a flag down way back near the line of scrimmage. Smith is brought down as he takes the ball into Woodland Hills territory, but it looks like this one's coming back.
That's an unfortunate. It looks like a backside hold, which is just never necessary. From where that flag is placed, it was on the right side of the line. Ball's coming left. It's just a mental error there. Being a little over aggressive. The guy's not going to get to the ball. Don't grab that jersey.
Well, the call by the official was an illegal block in the back, and I think I can see where that came into play as one of the defensive linemen had hooked around DeVega Bird. DeVega Bird then started shoving said defensive lineman from behind. And after that block in the back, it's going to push Woody High back to the 20, or rather the 19-yard line, bringing up 2nd down and 14.
Brings up a 2nd and 14.
High backfield for Woodland Hills. Ball in the middle of the field. One receiver to the wide side left on double tights. Throw to the near side left. Complete. Nazir Taylor tries to split defenders, but can't, but still picks up a nice pickup there for Woody High.
Yeah,
Gain of 9.
Something we've been saying all year. That pass play, the 3-step drop, the quick hit to the outside, almost any defense in Whitfield is going to be susceptible to that. It's going to be open all day long if you can execute. The downside is if you don't, it could be possibly an easy pick 6 going the other way.
One receiver to the wide side right as the ball's on the left hash. High backfield behind Daniel Jones. Naz Taylor will motion from right to left. Pitch to the right-hand side. Jaquan Smith running right, lowering his shoulder, driving his way out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Smith needed 4. He picked up about 2.5, and the punt unit will come on for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, then Woodland Hills goes with a sweep to the right, and I think USC just saw that coming from the minute we lined up to the ball. Yeah, the line kind of slants that way. The linebackers are all shifting that way. They knew where that ball was going. Fairly conservative play call by Woodland Hills, but not necessarily a bad one.
4th and 1 with the football at the 31. Punt unit on. Whitehurst will get the punt away cleanly. A spiraling beauty, forcing the return man to retreat all the way back inside of the 30 to the 28-yard line. And Rick, in a 6-0 football game, when field position has played such a pivotal role, it's really not out of the realm of possibility that Michael Whitehurst from the punting position, regardless of the outcome of this game, could be our player of the game.
Absolutely. I mean, that looked to me like about a 50-yard punt in the air. That's a huge difference in field position. A little bit of a disappointing drive there with the penalties, but that kind of flips the table back now to give the Panthers kind of the long field ahead of them. And this defense for Woodland Hills that's done a really good job of stifling them all night. They're going to come out there hungry to get that ball back.
2 receivers to the short side left, 1 to the near side right. They feign the end around, and instead the quarterback Hansberry is going to carry the football inside of Woodland Hills territory, dragging a Wolverine with him in Jaden Lucas. And finally Hansberry brought down at the 47-yard line.
Oh, there goes that field position. But a really nice effort there by Jack Hansberry. Makes the fake, and you can see it there. Takes that secondary, takes a linebacking core to the left side. They bought on the fake. Just opens up enough of a crack, and he gets about 15 yards after first contact.
First and 10 at the Woodland Hills 47 as Hansberry runs to the left again. Wolverines had him hemmed in for a moment, but he's still able to surge his way forward inside of the 45 down to around the 43-yard line before the tackle made by Sidney Summers.
Yeah, now they're starting to get that going a little bit with Hansberry hitting the outside, and this is where, like we talked about, this halftime adjustment that Woodland Hills needed to make to stop this play calling. And let's see what they can do here.
2nd and 5 as we're down to 90 seconds to play in the third quarter. Woodland Hills leads Upper St. Clair 6-0 on a 26-yard touchdown pass from Jones to Taylor. The PAT rang off the left upright, no good. Power pistol. Hand off. The ball carrier is McClendon running to the right. He's got the first down and more as he shoves his way down towards the 35-yard line. Michael Lucas in on the stop for Woodland Hills. Also Sidney Summers makes the stop.
This looks like a really good pusher out the right side of the line for Upper St. Clair. Nice lead block there. Kind of blows Sidney Summers back, and then just enough to keep him out of the hole. And Summers does a nice job recovering, get back to his feet, and makes the tackle when he did.
1 minute to play here in the third quarter. Power pistol, two receivers right. Ball in the middle of the field as they'll set the power in the pistol to the left-hand side. McClendon, the ball carrier, gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe leans forward for a yard before being driven back. Summers in on the stop. Also in on the stop, DeVega Bird.
Yeah, DeVega Bird, anytime he's there in the middle, there's just no move in that massive humanity, if you will. And if I'm Upper St. Clair, if I see a big boy in there, I'm going to the outside every play because you're just not going to get there. He had 3 guys there and pushed them into the ball.
Third quarter waning as we have just over 15 seconds to play in the third frame. 2nd down and 9 for Upper St. Clair with the ball at the Woodland Hills 34. Hansberry, straight drop back. He's hit as he releases the football, and Rodney Denard was retreating, trying to grab a hold of it to no avail, and a flag is down. Mike Roman had broken free, and somebody just grabbed his jersey.
Yeah, Roman just came on that cornerback blitz, and nobody saw it coming. Couldn't quite tell. I don't know if there's a running back he came up and made really nice contact with it first. There it is there. Yep, that's that little bit of grabbing a jersey there. And it did it. It kept number 11 from getting that sack.
That'll push Upper St. Clair back from the 34 to the 44-yard line. And the replay 2nd down here. 2nd down and 19.
Brings up a 2nd and 19 for the Panthers.
5 seconds to play here in the quarter. Woodland Hills up 6-0. Two receivers right, one to the far side left. Hansberry, the ball carrier. He drives his way forward, picking up 9. That'll make it 10. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9 for the first play of the fourth quarter. We'll head to the fourth frame. Woodland Hills leads Upper St. Clair 6-0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Whether you need a new website or want to improve your existing site, Web Landings can serve your needs. Web Landings provides professional, easy-to-maintain websites for businesses, organizations, and individuals. Discover more at weblandings.com and find out how editing your site can be as easy as using a word processor. Plus, we offer 1 year of free hosting for any website developed. Visit weblandings.com today.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Well, it's rivalry week in Western Pennsylvania. Woodland Hills taking on Upper St. Clair in this rivalry matchup in the Allegheny 9 Conference. In the West Hills of Pittsburgh, there's another rivalry matchup going on between the Moon Tigers and the West Allegheny Indians. And in the second half of that one, Rick, Moon leads West A 20-10.
Yeah, we just heard somebody kind of call that out in the press box up here, and we both did a double take. That's kind of a surprising score so far. Not sure how much time's left in that game, but and I don't know if that has any kind of ramifications playoff-wise, but kind of surprising output there by Moon.
Should Woodland Hills win this football game, they would have, and West Allegheny lose, West Allegheny would have the same amount of losses as Woodland Hills, but West A would hold the tiebreaker in head-to-head. Hansberry, the ball carrier, running to the left-hand side. He's driving to the near side left. He dives forward. Nazir Taylor makes the stop at the 30-yard line. And a pickup of about 4 brings up 4th down and 5 for USC, as the ball will be set on the left hash.
Nice job here by Meredith. Kind of gets up in the hole, and he doesn't get the tackle, but he gets a hand on him and forces him outside and really stops his momentum coming forward. You see him right there shedding the block, kicks him outside, and the nice second wave for Woodland Hills comes on and makes the tackle.
So 4th down and 5 here, the ball at the 30. The line to gain is the 25. Upper St. Clair will break the huddle, sending 2 receivers to the wide side right and 1 receiver to the near short side left. Hansberry in the pistol with Kyle behind him. Check that is Orsini instead. Hansberry surges forward, then retreats. Now he's rolling to the right-hand side. He's going to throw the football deep down the field. It's going to be tipped around and knocked to the turf, incomplete. Nazir Taylor knocks it to the turf. A flag is down, but if it's against the Panthers, the Wolverines will decline.
Yeah, I had my ball in the air, my eyes on the ball in the air there. I'm not sure what the call was. Looked like a pretty late flag.
Yeah, it looked like that flag had come in basically as the ball was released. It came from the umpire, I do believe. In all likelihood, this is going to go against the Panthers, I do believe. But now they're going to say it's against Woody High. Tyler Barlow really just does not understand what the call is here. And we're going to have to check in with our referee to see exactly what's happening here. Holding against Upper St. Clair.
Okay, that went a little better than I thought it was going to go.
Personal foul against Woodland Hills.
Offsetting.
No offset.
So that's first down Woodland Hills, yes?
No, I think they're going to replay 4th down.
Holding against the Panthers and personal foul against Woodland Hills.
A couple of Woodland Hills players shaking up on that play. Josh Rowlings looked like he maybe come up with a little bit of a cramp. And Nazir Taylor, after making a really athletic play there in the end zone to break that pass up, looked like maybe he landed a little funny. Was just had a little hitch in his step coming to the sidelines there.
Don't forget Woodland Hills in the WPIAL playoffs, and they will play an opponent at a location to be determined by the seating committee on Monday evening. So after the officials sort everything out, it will be a replay the down. Jim Render had certainly a lot to say to the officials. Taking a look at the other side of 5A, Penn Trafford undefeated at 7-0. Gateway 6-1, McKeesport 5-2, as are the Franklin Regional Panthers. And around halftime, we heard that Gateway had a small lead on the Panthers. 4th and 5 again for Upper St. Clair, as Hansberry calls out signals. Looking to the right where he has 2 receivers, 1 receiver to the near side left. He'll set in the power pistol. Power favoring the right. Hansberry running to the right. He's got the first down. He'll step out of bounds on that far boundary, approaching the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he had all day to run out there on the right side. Just a nice push there on the right side offensive line. I don't know why Woodland Hills didn't see that one coming. I kind of knew that's the play that they were going to be running. I was surprised in the previous play that they went with the deep pass. This has been working for them all night. It's 4th down, biggest play of the game for them so far. I was fully expecting to see that the quarterback running out to one side or the other.
2nd and 10, the ball, or rather 1st and 10 with the ball at the 21. 11:32 to play in regulation as Hansberry runs to the right again. A Wolverine can't make the ankle tackle, but a second Wolverine to the football makes the stop in Sidney Summers.
Yeah, that was Meredith coming up early. Doesn't get the tackle, but just gets enough on him to slow the momentum. Lets the rest of his defense come up and make a nice stop. Wow, Meredith does a really nice job shooting the gap there. He got right between 2 different defenders, 2 blockers there, and gets, like I said, just enough on him to stop the play.
Second down and 9 as the clock winds to just under 11 minutes to play in regulation. USC sends trips to the wide side left, one receiver to the short side right. Pistol formation for Hansberry. Kind of bobbled the snap there and handed it off to the tailback in Orsini, and Orsini is brought down 2 yards shy of the line of scrimmage. Make it 3 yards shy of the line of scrimmage, bringing up 3rd and 12 from second down and 9.
Yeah, nice pusher on the defensive line. Micah Lucas just blew the block all the way into the backfield. Kind of pushed his blocker into the ball carrier. A little bit of a bobble there. The play just didn't quite get going for Upper St. Clair.
Upper St. Clair takes a timeout. We'll step away too. 10:23 to play in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills 6, Upper St. Clair 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Back at Upper St. Clair, Woodland Hills leading the Upper St. Clair Panthers 6-0. Adam Gusky, Rick McIntyre on the call for you here at Upper St. Clair. Rivalry week in the WPIAL. Third down and about a dozen for USC with football at the 24. The line to gain is the 12. Hansberry's going to step under center with an eye backfield behind him. Wing to the right. Hansberry off of play action, rolls to the left. He's pressured. He eludes the first wave. Runs to the near side left. Still on his feet, running to the near boundary. Inside of the 20, spun down as he approaches the 15-yard line. And Micah Lucas, Rick, was shoved in the backfield. If they called Lucas for a block in the back earlier, why wasn't he the recipient of the flag that time?
Yeah, kind of a missed call there, and a really big one here. This is a big pickup here for Upper St. Clair. I mean, really nice job here. This quarterback's impressing me so far with his running ability tonight. He eludes how many, but yeah, the block was pretty obvious right there. Nas Taylor kind of went down a little awkward. It was a little bit slow to get up here. You see him limping to the sideline. Something to keep our eye on moving forward.
So instead of 3rd and a dozen, it's now 4th down and 3. The Panthers with their offense on the field. Hansberry looks to run to the right-hand side, cuts it back to the left. He's wrapped up by Anthony Meredith, and this is very close to the first down flag. The officials say he has just enough.
Wow. Yeah, we don't have the best angle here, but Woodland Hills does not look happy with the spot of that ball. Meredith did a nice job shooting the gap, coming up, making a nice tackle.
As Hansberry ran to the right, Anthony Meredith wrapped him and brought him down. And
that's from the replay. That actually looks like a fairly good spot, I think.
Yeah, because you can see the
right where the ball comes down in that blue circle.
Power pistol. Hansberry with the power favoring the right-hand side. Now they're going to have the direct snap go to McClendon instead as he'll run to the right-hand side. He's banged around inside of the 10, brought down at the 8-yard line after a pickup of 4.
Well, somebody, I think it was Meredith, came in and made a pretty big hit there at the end. That's going to hurt in the morning.
Down by number 55, Micah Lucas.
Upper St. Clair threatening. 9 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills on top of USC 6-0. Woodland Hills scoring on their first possession of the second half.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw in the replay there that they, running back the direct snap, he had 5 blockers out in front of him. Our outside guy just didn't do quite good enough a job coming up and engaging to push that line of scrimmage.
Twins to either side. Hansberry dancing around. Now will lower his shoulders and drive his way forward towards the 5, maybe inside of the 5 down to the 3 now.
Hansberry on the keeper up the middle.
Hansberry does another good job here, just yards after first contact. Steps up, nothing there, bounces out to the right, nice down block. Gets tripped up a little bit and manages just to keep his feet moving and really earned every inch of that couple-yard gain he got there.
3rd and about 1 for Upper St. Clair. The ball is set at the 3-yard line. The line to gain is the 2. Hansberry in the shotgun. Power to the left-hand side. Hansberry running to the left-hand side. He'll get to the line of scrimmage before he's hauled back. The ball came loose, and I think Woodland Hills came out of there with it, but they will say that the forward progress was stalled before the ball was jostled free.
Who's that down?
That's DeVega Bird.
DeVega. I think he's just a little wore out from going 2 ways tonight. Hopefully, it's nothing more serious than that.
And Hansberry is shaken up as well, Rick, as he's being helped to the sideline by a teammate.
Well, this has been a really physical matchup here, Adam. A lot of big, brutal hits at the line of scrimmage, and there's going to be some bruised-up young men tomorrow morning.
And, Rick, I'll tell you what, I have no idea how Hansberry got any positive yardage, but it looks like they pushed the ball to the 2-yard line enough for an Upper St. Clair first down. Let's take a look at this.
Coming off the left side here, Jaquan Smith does a nice job closing the outside, and I don't see how he picked up a whole lot there.
I certainly don't either. It looked like his forward progress was stopped right away when he got to the line of scrimmage, but the officials gave him the benefit of a yard, and that's enough for a first down, so it's 1st and goal for Upper St. Clair, the ball at the 2. This drive for USC started at their own 28-yard line after a Woodland Hills punt.
From the looks of it from here, Adam, it looks like Coach Danny D'Amico's out there working a cramp out with DeVega Bird. So, well, that's a painful situation for a big guy out there. It's the positive thing to see. He's not going to be a serious injury.
Taking a look at the Trib Live High School Sports Network, WPIAL 5A Top 10 rankings. Penn Trafford, the number 1 team at 9-0. Gateway ranked 2nd. McKeesport ranked 3rd. Then you'll finally get to an Allegheny 9 team in the Upper St. Clair Panthers ranked 4th. West Allegheny wraps up the top 5. Franklin Regional is 6th. Fox Chapel edging out Woodland Hills because of that head-to-head matchup early in the year, as they are 7th. Woodland Hills is 8th. Armstrong, the River Hawks, at 5 and 4 are ranked 9th. And the Moon Tigers, 4 and 5, are the 10th ranked team, according to the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Don't forget, next week Woodland Hills taking on a team to be determined at a site to be determined by the playoff pairings committee. And those pairings will be announced on Monday night right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, so tune in. There'll be full coverage of that. 1st and goal for Upper St. Clair, the ball at the 2.
And with DeVega Bird being injured on that play, we're losing our big horse here in the middle where you really want him in this short distance.
Upper St. Clair will motion the power to the right-hand side as Hansberry runs to the right, and he will surge forward into the end zone for a 2-yard touchdown. And Upper St. Clair has tied the game at 6-all.
This is where that extra point's going to possibly come in to make a nightmare. Nice push there. He just kind of bounces outside, sees a little bit of a gap, dives right in the end zone. Really nice effort there by Upper St. Clair quarterback.
On to attempt the PAT is Sean Martin, the 5'8 junior. High snap, hold down, kick up, and that PAT is good. And with 7:27 to play here in quarter number 4, Upper St. Clair leads Woodland Hills 7-6. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Upper St. Clair Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
A 2-yard touchdown run by Jack Hansberry, and then the PAT up and in for Sean Martin. And Upper St. Clair leads Woodland Hills by a score of 7-6 with 7:27 to play in regulation.
Be a nice time for a little return 6 here, Adam.
Well, we've seen Woodland Hills have the ability to have big kickoff returns, including the opening kick a week ago. This end-over-end kick will be returned from around the 13-yard line by Jaquan Smith. He'll take it all the way across the field and be brought down as he crosses the 15 out towards the 18-yard line. He'll say he gets to the 19, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Woody High.
Nice job there by the Upper St. Clair kickoff team. They all kind of stayed in their lanes. They didn't buy into the kick was right. You see him coming back left. Everybody kept their lanes and kind of cut down his angle and got to the ball fairly quickly there. So now Woodland Hills has a pretty long field ahead of them here to try and get this game back.
And Woodland Hills scored first in this football game on a 26-yard touchdown pass from Jones to Taylor with about 7.5 minutes to play as Anthony Meredith runs to the left-hand side. He's into open field to the 40, to the 50, still on his feet to the 40, finally dragged down inside of Panthers territory near the 35-yard line.
That's a tremendous play there. Again, nothing we haven't seen all day as far as play calling. Just finally we found that little bit of a crack. You give Meredith a little bit of room to run, and he can really take off.
And taking a look at our Triangle Bar and Grill replay.
There's big boy pulling, and after coming off with the cramps, kind of sucking it up, rubbing a little dirt on the pain, and gets out there and doesn't really make a block, but just kind of how do you find the ball behind him?
Well, as we take a look to the near sideline, Maurice Taylor, one of the Woodland Hills coaches, the younger brother of, or Maurice Walker rather, the younger brother of Eric Walker. And he was one of those Smurfs that used to hide behind the big offensive line in the mid-90s.
Yeah, Smurf backs, they were something to watch, man. That was your squad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Not a bad crew you had there. Yeah. So it's a sizable ring you have on your finger from that year.
Oh, this one's from 09. This was the 09 ring from the WPIL Championship, and Woodland Hills 10, Gateway 0. It says it right there. 7-6, Upper St. Clair leads Woodland Hills. Wolverines with the ball 1st and 10 at the 35. Jones under center. He'll hand off. Meredith running to the right. Surges forward. He's got the first down inside of the 25 to the 24-yard line.
Now, what we might be looking at here, Adam, is this Woodland Hills offensive line has kind of been punishing this defensive front for Upper St. Clair all day. And when you have a good ground running attack and you sustain it all game, when you get into the fourth quarter and you're still running the ball, you start wearing them down a little bit, and that's when you start seeing the big breaks like we saw in the play previous to that one. And pretty much anything you call here, you feel like you can get 5-6 yards. So this is going to be an interesting drive.
1st and 10 for Woodland Hills, just inside the 25. Jones motions Taylor closer in on the right. Pitch, Meredith running to the right. He'll drive his way inside of the 20. Pickup of about a handful. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, again, there wasn't much there, but we were able to pick up 5 yards there just based on the strength and the leverage of Meredith, getting low and making the contact and keeping his feet moving.
Clock winding to 5:40 to play here in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills trails Upper St. Clair by the slimmest of margins, 1 point, 7-6. Hand off, Jaquan Smith running to the right, inside of the 20, inside of the 15. He's got the first down on a pickup of 7.
Really nice job here into that run by Jaquan to kind of keep his feet. Looked like he was losing his balance a little bit, knew where he had to get that stick. Keeps his balance, gets the last couple steps in, gets a big first down.
First and 10 for Woodland Hills. The ball inside of the Panthers' red zone.
Nice job there by the backside of the Woodland Hills offensive line to come. Nice pull by the left tackle and kind of makes a hook block on a pull, which isn't the easiest thing to do.
High backfield behind Jones. Hand off. Jaquan Smith running left, cutting it back to the right. Picking up a handful of yards inside of the 10, down towards the 9-yard line.
Yeah, pretty confident-looking walk. The Woodland Hills offense walking back to that hole. They look like they know that they can run the ball right now, and that defensive front for Upper St. Clair is looking a little bit ragged, looking a little bit beat up after all these runs all day.
4:35 as the clock winds here in the fourth quarter. Woodland Hills down by 1, but threatening with the ball, 2nd and 5 at the 9. High backfield behind Jones. Handoff. Smith running to the right, cutting back to the left. He's got the first down inside of the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for Woodland Hills.
I like what Woodland Hills is doing right now. They're kind of shuttling in Meredith and Jaquan Smith. Meredith has done a lot of work on both sides of the ball tonight, giving him a little bit of a breather. Still able to pick up 5-6 yards, pick up the big first down. Now it's 1st and goal. Down by 1 point. I mean, what else can you ask for an exciting football game here with the clock starting to wind down?
Meredith back in. He'll dot the I behind Jones and Jones. One receiver split to the wide side left on a double tight end formation. Handoff. Meredith running left. He's got nowhere to go as he got to the line of scrimmage and no further.
Yeah, I think everybody in Western Pennsylvania knew what was coming there. They were pulling the big backside, and Upper St. Clair just kind of loaded that side and shot the gap, loaded that gap up really good, and there's just nowhere to go there from Meredith.
Jeremy Thomas, the offensive lineman, had to come off of the field. He had lost his shoe, and they sent a new O-lineman out there, but Tim Bostard instead decides to use a timeout, so we'll take a break too. 7-6. Woodland Hills trails Upper St. Clair. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
2nd and goal for Woodland Hills, the ball at the 4-yard line. High backfield behind Daniel Jones. Christopher Jones, the fullback. Anthony Meredith is the tailback. Double tight end formation, one receiver to the wide side right. Handoff. Meredith running right. Lowering his shoulders, driving his way down towards the 3-yard line, but no dice further than that. A helmet came off, so a Panther's going to have to come off of the field on this 3rd and goal play.
Yeah, again, the Panthers are just kind of stacking that box. They have a feeling they know what's coming here. They were hitting that. Woodland Hills either coming to that 5-hole or the 6-hole with the backside pull, and actually kind of looked like a bit of a stretch play there. Meredith just decided to cut it up real early.
So an eye backfield behind Daniel Jones. And a handoff. Anthony Meredith running left, trying to cut it back to the right. He's stacked up, trying to surge towards the goal line, but they'll say he gets no farther than the line of scrimmage, and the field goal unit comes on to try to surmount this 1-point deficit. Now, Rick, we have to keep in mind the snap situation on the extra point. The snap by Marcus Taylor was high. Whitehurst just got it down. Chucky Hansen was able to kick it, but it caromed off of the right upright, no good. And I saw Taylor working with special teams coach Scott Henderson here on the near side throughout this 4th quarter. Good snap, good hold. Field goal by Hanchett is up, and that field goal is good. And with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the 4th quarter, Woodland Hills has reclaimed the lead 9-7 over the Upper St. Clair Panthers. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Serving the Turtle Creek Valley and surrounding areas for over 111 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home is pleased to announce the opening of their new crematory at their Turtle Creek location. Families choosing cremation can have added peace of mind, knowing that their loved one never leaves the care of Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, and that our crematory is used exclusively for the families we serve.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
So Chucky Hanchett, who gives Woodland Hills the lead 9-7 on a 20-yard field goal from the left hash, will kick off for Woody High.
Pretty nice drive there, but Woodland Hills, I think, highlighted by the big what was about a 30-yard run there by Meredith to kind of break that. Stalled a little bit towards, when you got into the short yardage. But nice job to pick up the 3 points and take back the lead.
Short end-over-end kick will be returned from around the 20-yard line by one of the upmen for Upper St. Clair, and he's undercut as he gets to around the 30-yard line by Anthony Meredith, one of the two backs who powered Woodland Hills down the field on that previous drive. Incidentally, Rick, that drive started at the Woodland Hills 19-yard line. They took it all the way down to the USC 3 before the field goal by Hanchett.
Yeah, ate a little bit of time off the clock, probably about 3-4 minutes.
5 minutes and 19 seconds to be exact.
So, I mean, it's almost everything you wanted out of that drive. You wanted to get to 6, but we'll take the 3 in the lead here and let the defense do what they've been doing all night and hold this offense to maybe not even getting the first down.
And the quarterback goes back to pass. He dumps it off on the near flat, and that receiver is brought down in the backfield. Mike Roman absolutely tattooed that receiver, and Roman is slow to get up.
I think it's Sidney Summers.
Oh, no, Sidney Summers, excuse me. But either way, a great play there by a Woodland Hills linebacker with a double number. And
yeah, another case of the cramps, something you see a lot in the high school football games. Summers makes a great read here, watches the quarterback, sees that the tailback drift out to the side, sees the screen coming, makes a nice play. Pays the price for it, but big play here in one of the bigger series of the season so far.
So Summers being tended to after the loss of 2 on that completed pass for Upper St. Clair. All the scoring has been done here in the second half. Woodland Hills started their first offensive drive of the second half at the Upper St. Clair 49-yard line, and the drive was capped off by a 26-yard touchdown pass from Jones to Taylor. The PAT, as we've talked about ad nauseum at this point, was a high snap by Taylor. Somehow Whitehurst was able to get it down, and Hanchett was able to get the kick off, and it was just inches wide off of the upright. It caromed off of that upright, no good, and that made the score 6-0. A pair of punts, and Upper St. Clair started at their own 28-yard line, drove the ball down the field, and the drive was capped off by a 2-yard touchdown run by Jake Hansberry. Woodland Hills answered right back with a 20-yard field goal by Chucky Hanchett to make the score 9-7. With 1:47 to play here in quarter number 4. Second down and 12 for the Panthers. Twins to either side as Hansberry has some time. Now he's pressured. He's wrapped. He's sacked by Eric Oliver.
That is a massive, huge, big breakthrough play here. Late flag. I'm not sure what happened there.
No,
well after. Okay.
Yeah, the umpire picks up the flag and waves it off.
A big sack there in a big series. Wait a minute, he's just coming back there. What is that? Is that a quarterback? What is that? Is that a sack? I'm going to get that. I'm getting that. Fights off a blocker, keeps his eye on the quarterback. Big play.
Time winding down here. 1:35 to play, and I'd love to know why the clock is stopped here.
Yeah, Woodland Hills is pointing at it right now. It's just now started to wind it. I think maybe because of the flag.
I don't know. I mean,
the minute he waved it off, it should have been running.
Twins to either side. Hansberry in the shotgun. Low snap. Hansberry running to the near side left. And he will step out of bounds after picking up about a yard, maybe 2. Well, according to the folks here in the press box, there are 12 Wolverines on the field.
And
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. And now Hansberry's yelling at the official. I think something was called against Upper St. Clair here. Now Hansberry. That's an illegal participation against Upper St. Clair. Apparently the 12 on the field was against USC, not Woody High.
I'm not sure what just happened down there. A couple plays in a row with some weird flag being waved off and
clocks being stopped for no apparent reason whatsoever.
Yeah, you're going to have that. You're speaking in Latin, using ad nauseum. Dogs and cats living together.
Mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria.
Nothing like a good Ghostbusters reference. As Halloween approaches. So after the illegal participation penalty, Upper St. Clair will be pushed back all the way to the 13-yard line.
Right, and that's a bit of a death blow of a penalty here for Upper St. Clair.
Now, the difference between illegal substitution and illegal participation is having 12 players on the field during a play, while illegal substitution is having 12 players in the huddle prior to the play.
Correct, and the late shuttle in and out is where that comes in. But yeah, once the ball snapped, if you got 12 on the field, then that's the illegal
participation?
Something like that.
There you go. So that illegal participation penalty not only loses yardage, but you also have a loss of down there, which doesn't happen when you have an illegal substitution.
Yeah, it's a devastating penalty here for Upper St. Clair. A really critical juncture here. Now they've got an extremely long field just to get to the first down. And that's bringing up fourth down. This is make it or break it time. So if I'm Woodland Hills, I'm lining my guys up at the 40.
Well, Woodland Hills certainly in an umbrella-style defense here with twins to either side. Hansberry's in the shotgun. 116. Straight drop back by Hansberry. Has some time as he throws it down the middle. Woodland Hills converging on the football, and it's batted to the turf by Michael Coleman. And I don't know what happened there. But
Michael Coleman's going to get it unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh, my
goodness. First down for Upper St. Clair. Just a thoughtless, undisciplined play here for Woodland Hills. Something that we really haven't seen a whole lot of this year, but
I don't know where these teams are going. If it's 15 yards from the previous spot, it may be a first down, but it'll be first down from the 17, 15 yards from there to the 32.
Yeah, you're going to see here, Woodland Hills makes a nice play on the ball here, bats it down. A little bit of jawing going on. A little late hit there, but the second man's always going to get the penalty, and there it is.
Oh, they called it against Upper St. Clair. They called him offsetting.
Okay.
So they're going to replay fourth down.
They saw both. So that's I'll tell you, that's a huge break for Woodland Hills. But if Woodland Hills is still the program that we remember, Michael Coleman's going to get an earful.
He'll be on the steps, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Those steps are nothing nice to play with, and he's going to go touch that press box a few times, I think, come Monday.
You know, Rick, you've got to wonder there who said something first. Obviously, the officials heard both players have something to say.
Yeah, I mean, talking, there's a certain amount of trash talking that's going to go on in any game. But you could see there, there was trash talking, and then the Upper St. Clair kid did the shove. And then the retaliation, which was what I thought the penalty was going to be on. Fortunately for Woodland Hills, the ref saw both parts of the exchange, and Woodland Hills really got a break there. 9 times out of 10, it's that second hit that gets the flag.
A timeout taken by Woodland Hills head coach Tim Bostard. So we will step away, too, as Jim Render has a lot to say to the official over there. We'll step away. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Upper St. Clair Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
LG3 Entertainment is a first-class disc jockey and karaoke entertainment company that serves the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas. They offer a wide range of music entertainment for weddings, anniversaries, school dances, corporate events, and more. They also offer beautiful chair cover linen rentals to give your event the elegance it deserves. They offer many more services, so go to their website today and see why so many choose LG3 Entertainment for the best in family fun entertainment.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Ironed out. Jim Render and Tim Bostard hear from the officials on what their determination was. Tim Bostard slightly more happy by the outcome than Jim Render because they determined that the offsetting penalties happened after the play, and Woodland Hills has the ball 1st and 10 at the Upper St. Clair 17-yard line as Jaquan Smith, the ball carrier, runs to the left and picks up big yardage inside of the 5 as he is brought down at around the 3-yard line. And that's enough for a Woodland Hills first down.
Yeah, that should really be all it's going to take here, Adam. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be tempting to run the ball in the end zone here, but I don't think you want to risk any chance of coughing that ball up, which we've seen a few times this year.
Again, 9-7 is your score. Woodland Hills on top of Upper St. Clair. Daniel Jones going to step under center. He's going to take a knee at the 5-yard line. And maybe one more snap. Nope, there will not be one more snap. Woodland Hills comes into Upper St. Clair and defeats the Upper St. Clair Panthers 9-7 in an absolutely brutally physical football game, a defensive struggle between two of the most historic programs in the WPIAL over the last 40 years. And a big win for Woody High. With the win, Woodland Hills is now 6-4 on the year, and more importantly, 6-2 in Allegheny 9 conference play. Well, we're going to step away, and when we return, we will wrap this football game up for you. You've been tuned in to the Wolverines and the Upper St. Clair Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network and the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
State Senator Jay Costa is proud to represent Pennsylvania's 43rd District since 1996 and is happy to support the Woodland Hills football team. If you have an issue concerning state government, contact one of Senator Costa's 3 local offices. Senator Costa's offices offer a variety of services for constituents. You can reach Senator Costa's Forest Hills office at 412-241-6690 or log on to senatorcosta.com. The Triangle Bar and Grill in Swissvale is a proud sponsor of the Wolverines and has been serving the Woodland Hills community for nearly 70 years. The Triangle, located on Monongahela Avenue, is the home of the Battleship, the sandwich that made Swissvale famous. Plus, the Triangle has a full menu of specialty sandwiches you're gonna love. Call the Triangle at 412-271-9885 to place your order now.
Life has its ups and downs. There are times when you or a loved one needs help. That's why you should know the name LGAR, Health and Rehabilitation Center. Located just minutes from the Monroeville Mall, the LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center has been known by locals for many years, and they excel in reputation, rehabilitation, recuperation, and residential living. The help and answers you need are just a phone call away at 412-825-9000. Also on the web at lgar.org. LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, a name you should know and a name you can trust.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
And we welcome you back to Upper St. Clair High School, where Woodland Hills travels to the South Hills of Pittsburgh and defeats the Upper St. Clair Panthers 9-7. After a scoreless first half, Woodland Hills got the ball on their first possession of the second half after a USC punt at their own at the Upper St. Clair 49-yard line, and a few plays later it was a 26-yard touchdown pass from Daniel Jones to Nazir Taylor. Now a high snap from Marcus Taylor, a good hold though by Michael Whitehurst, but the PAT rang off the upright, no good by Chucky Hanchett, and it was 6-0 Woodland Hills. A pair of punts, and Upper St. Clair got the ball at their own 28-yard line and drove the ball down the field, eating up a good bit of clock in the process, and the drive was capped off on a 2-yard touchdown run by Jack Hansberry. On came the kicker for Upper St. Clair, Sean Martin, and he split the uprights, giving Upper St. Clair the lead 7-6. On the ensuing drive, Woodland Hills got the ball at their own 19-yard line with 7:21 to play in regulation. Woodland Hills went on a very long drive, not only yardage-wise but time-wise, as they occupied the next 5 minutes and 19 seconds off of the clock, and the drive was capped off on a 20-yard field goal by Chucky Hanchett. Woodland Hills went up 9-7 at that point. Upper St. Clair got the ball on the ensuing drive at their own 30-yard line. Weren't able to do much with it. In fact, they were pushed back several times, and on fourth down, a pass down the middle towards the 50-yard line was broken up by Michael Coleman. Michael Coleman started to jaw with one of the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Offsetting personal fouls after the play was over led to a turnover on downs. Woodland Hills got the ball at the Upper St. Clair 17-yard line. One 10-yard run by Jaquan Smith later. The Wolverines were able to take a knee, salt the football game away, and improve their record to 6-4 overall, 6-2 within Allegheny 9 play. With the loss, Upper St. Clair is now 7-1 within the conference and 7-3 on the year. Incidentally, Rick, the Moon Tigers here on Rivalry Week defeated the West Allegheny Indians in the West Hills of Pittsburgh. So that certainly makes this playoff pairings on Monday very, very murky, especially when McKeesport beat Penn Trafford as well.
Yeah, just hearing that score earlier and seeing the listings or the records as we saw, that the other side of the conference really gets murky there with that McKeesport win.
Right. I mean, there's a big clog up in the first handful of teams in the Allegheny 9, both here in the Allegheny 9 as well as on the other side of 5A in the Big East Conference. We're going to take one more time out here in the postgame show. When we return, we'll let you know who our postgame superlatives were, including the play of the game and our player of the game. Again, your final score is Woodland Hills defeating Upper St. Clair 9-7. You've been tuned into the Wolverines and the Upper St. Clair Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, with locations in East Pittsburgh and Turtle Creek, is a member of the Hall of Excellence of the National Funeral Directors Association. This reflects the same pursuit of excellence by our Woodland Hills football team, cheerleaders, marching band, students, staff, and faculty. For over 110 years, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home has been honored to serve local families and to be a proud partner of the Woodland Hills communities. Bush Brothers Car Care Center in Swissvale has been a Monongahela Avenue institution for nearly 30 years. Bush Brothers is a full-service mechanic and tire shop for all types of vehicles. Whether you need mechanical work, alignment, state inspection, emissions testing, new tires, or just an oil change, Bush Brothers is the place for you. Bush Brothers Car Care Center, Monongahela Avenue in Swissvale, or give Martin and Jason a call at 412-351-5342. There are few things that guys like more than a great haircut at a real barbershop. And at the Barber's Inn on Washington Avenue in Swissvale, you'll find both. Plus, you can relax in style on supple leather sofas while watching their big screen HD TV. You can even shoot some pool while you wait. But most importantly, you'll walk out the door with a haircut or shave you're sure to love. Walk-ins are always welcome at the Barber's Inn in Swissvale. For more information, call 412-271-7434. And remember, real men come to the Barber's Inn. Today's broadcast of Woodland Hills football is brought to you by the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club. Since 1905, Rotary clubs across the globe have brought business and professional leaders together to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. The Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club meets every Friday at noon at Shelley Pie. Rotary, service above self.
You're tuned in to Wolverine Football, presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Welcome back one final time to Upper St. Clair High School, where Woodland Hills comes into the home of the Panthers and upsets the Panthers 9-7. With the victory, Woodland Hills 6-4 on the year, 6-2 within Allegheny 9 conference play. Upper St. Clair falling to 7-1 within conference and 7-3 overall. Folks watching on our TV broadcast, you can see former Woodland Hills head coach George Novak, joined by his successor Tim Bostard. And, it's always good to see Coach Novak back out there on the field, especially to watch his team head into the playoffs with a modicum of momentum, Rick, for a twofold reason. Number one, they traveled to West Allegheny a week ago and gave the Indians everything they could handle. And secondly, they came here to Upper St. Clair in the final week of the regular season and got the big 9-7 victory over the rivals in the conference, the Panthers.
Yeah, I think if you look at the Upper St. Clair Panthers and the West Allegheny team, and then you throw Woodland Hills in that mix, obviously all year everybody talked about USC and West Allegheny being the creme de la creme of the conference all year. I think the way Woodland Hills played last week, might take away one or two of those fumbles, a couple mental errors. Woodland Hills comes away with a victory that last week, and then they do this tonight. All of a sudden, they're on top. So going into the playoffs, this is a huge confidence builder. It's proven that Woodland Hills can compete with anybody at any level, throughout the WPIAL. And curious to see who we get paired up with and see what we can bring to the table next week.
And that will be announced on Monday on the Playoffs Pairing Show on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. But before we talk about that, let's talk about our post-game superlatives in this 9-7 victory for Woodland Hills. And our Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home play of the game has got to go to the 20-yard field goal by Chucky Hanchett that gave Woodland Hills the victory. After they were trailing 7-6, they win the game 9-7 on that 20-yard field goal by Hanchett.
Yeah, anytime you get a game-winning field goal in high school, the play of the game's got to go to there. We had a brief discussion during the break. I think a close second place there would be the early interception. Was that Nazir Taylor?
No, Michael Coleman.
I'm sorry, Michael Coleman down here on the right side was the way we're looking. Potentially kept some really important points off the board for the Panthers.
And our State Senator Jay Costa player of the game is Anthony Meredith. And not just because of the way he ran the football today, Rick, but the way he played on defense. He made a lot of big plays on the defensive side of the football for Woody High and was a big, big factor on both offense and defense. So Anthony Meredith, our State Senator Jay Costa player of the game. And there were so many candidates on that one. We even talked about Michael Whitehurst as the punter as being a possible candidate for the State Senator Jay Costa player of the game. And I think had this score been 6-0 Woodland Hills, with the way Woodland Hills was able to control field position with those punts by Whitehurst, I think he was an excellent candidate.
Absolutely. Even the way the whole game panned out. I mean, obviously Meredith had just an incredible effort on both sides of the ball. It seemed like every play he was near the ball. I think there was maybe a couple times he wasn't even on. He was on the sidelines and he was involved. But I think in particular the last punt that Whitehurst put off there, it looked like about a 50-yarder in the air, really pushed their field position back. Mike did a great job all day, but you got to give the nod to number 5 tonight.
Absolutely. Anthony Meredith, again, our State Senator Jay Costa player of the game, and the field goal by Chucky Hanchett, our Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home player of the game. Again, your final score is 9-7 Woodland Hills over Upper St. Clair. Woodland Hills will head to the WPIAL playoffs next Friday at a site to be determined against an opponent to be determined, and that will be determined on Monday evening as the playoff pairings are announced, and you can listen on the Trib Live High School Sports Network as those good folks over there will have full coverage of that for you on Monday evening, and we will certainly have the coverage for you of the football game next Friday. Well, that'll do it for our coverage here. One more time, we want to send our thoughts and prayers to Bob Orquist and his family as they're going through some tough times right now. So we hope all is well with you, Bob, and your family as well. And again, for our crew, our TV crew, including our director, Larry, George, and Rick, great job up here in the booth all season long, as well as when you were down on the field for some of those home games.
Thank you, man. And again, I've said a few times this year, thanks to you, thanks to Larry, thanks to everybody involved here. I knew this was a difficult endeavor. I had no idea the amount of setup and the amount of production work that goes into these broadcasts, and I'm overwhelmed, and I'm really impressed with the job this crew does.
Well, thanks a lot, Rick, and we will hopefully hear from you again next week in the WPIAL playoffs. Again, your final score, 9-7. Woodland Hills defeats the Upper St. Clair Panthers to finish the regular season 6-4, but more importantly, 6-2 within the Allegheny 9 Conference. We'll talk to you again next week. You've been tuned in to the Wolverines and the Panthers on the Woodland Hills Football Network, presented by State Senator Jay Costa.
Today's broadcast of Wolverine Football was presented by State Senator Jay Costa on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Wolverine Football is also brought to you by the Triangle Bar and Grill, LGAR Health and Rehabilitation Center, Patrick T. Lanigan Funeral Home, Bush Brothers Car Care, The Barbers Inn in Swissvale, ABOS Opticians, the Turtle Creek Valley Rotary Club, Web Landings, and LG3 Entertainment. This broadcast has been a presentation of A.W. Gusky Productions and LG3 Entertainment. Copyright 2017.